Hello, everyone. Welcome
Howdy.
to our Friday show. Welcome to Off the Rails. We're happy to have you here on the end of a very long week yet again. 2021 better fucking get its acting gear. Before we start our fantastic show that we have for you tonight, because we're coming in here with some amazing energy, we have some announcements to get through. So, Josh, if you'd like to, take it away.
I would love to, Sean. Thank you. And I will begin our announcements, as always, by doing schedule things. Guys, so come back by here tomorrow for Conundrum Company, same Conundrum place, same Conundrum time, 6 p.m. Eastern, to watch Sean and myself play some D&D in my little homebrew world, or not homebrew world, Greyhawk. Anyway, on Monday, we have Highlight Heroes featuring At a Hobbit's Tale. That's right, the fantastic D&D content creator, wonderful human being, and good friend. So January 18th, that's Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Swing by, hang out with us. We're going to ask them some cool questions. We're going to do a little bit of arts and crafts. Should be a good time. And then be back here on Friday for more Off the Rails. That's right, 6 p.m. Eastern for this good, tasty show. Conundrum Company following that on Saturday, and then Cosplayground is on the 24th. That's Sunday. So again, 7 p.m. on the 24th, be there for Cosplayground. It's going to be a good one. On to our sponsors. The first of whom is Skull Splitter Dice. Now, Skull Splitter Dice, not only do they sponsor this show so that we can do lots of cool things for you guys, they also sponsor a giveaway that you guys can get in on during the break. So during the break, we will open up that giveaway. You could just put in !win to get yourself entered in that raffle if you haven't done so already this month. Now, if you have done so already, you don't have to worry about it. We'll be drawing on January 30th this month, okay? So make sure you get your entries in there. Now, if you're a follower, you get 1 entry, and if you're a subscriber, you get 2. Make sure you subscribe first so that you get your double entry. If you subscribe after you've entered, unfortunately, it still only counts as 1, okay? And if you win that dice giveaway at the end of the month, you get a giant skull mug full of approximately 100 dice, which is pretty bloody good. Matt, we have a second sponsor. Can you tell us about them?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey guys, do you like playing D&D? I sure hope you do. I didn't wait for a response because I knew the answer. So if you guys enjoy playing D&D with your party, and maybe you want to give a go at being a DM, or even just giving your DM material to play, because, you know, I give Sean so many gifts, and none right now. I won't tell you what gifts I'll tell XOXO Gossip Girl, but there's a really awesome company that is sponsoring us called Gooey Cube, and there's a link down there in the little description of all the fun stuff we do here, that makes their own campaign modules for you to dish out for all your friends to play around and have fun games. It comes with all of these preloaded, I should say preloaded, it's all paper, modules and adventures, items, does all the work for you. So all you have to do is just pick up the stuff, read it, play it, and make up a fun adventure for you guys to have fun with. But it's Gooey Cube. They support us. We love supporting them. And you'll enjoy every minute of it that you play.
God, Gooey Cube is fantastic. Thank you, Matt. Now, we have a very special announcement today, much waited for. Guys, you know how we already have a merch store? Well, guess what? Now we have a second merch store that is only for hats.
Our power grows.
We only sell, it's a hat store, a haberdashery, if you will.
Yes.
We have a twee
Hats
haberdashery.
off to that. I mean, hats on, buy them.
Yes. But I believe the link is in chat right now, correct?
It is, yes.
Our
So
Give me that
our
sweet
normal
merch.
merch store does lots of wonderful merch, but they don't do hats. And we got asked a lot for hats. So we made it possible through a second merch store. If you swing over there, maybe there's a few little extra special things you could buy there too if you're interested. I don't know. Maybe take a look. I don't know. I heard from a person that there might be some other things.
It was me. You can go there and buy some other things too, but there's also hats.
And lots of fun. Oh, they look like this.
Yeah.
This is
You
the
should show
hat. Snapback comes flat brim, but you can curve it if you want. They look really good. Here, I'll do the. Oh God, my hair.
Josh is wearing the
Whoa.
privately.
Oh, it's a snapback?
Yeah, this is a snapback. So. Get
Oh,
yourself
man.
a
I gotta
hat.
get
We all need one.
Gotta
Sean,
replace this.
what announcements do you have for us?
Me? Well, I'm talking about our sponsorship with UNICEF, is I believe this charity we're still sponsoring this month. A great humanitarian organization that helps kids all around the world. If you would like to donate to them and their fantastic work, there is a donate button below, down where the aforementioned previous merch store was, just around that area. There's a big button that says donate. before you put any money anywhere else, we would very much appreciate it if you went ahead and threw money at them, because it is a very good cause and they are a very good charity. So thank you for supporting them, and thank you for supporting us.
Oh, man. I think that's it, Sean.
I think that's it.
Wow.
Does that mean?
Does that mean? I think that means. So, we'll dive back into Off the Rails now. When we last left our group of adventurers, ne'er-do-wells, still in the air. That coin's still flipping.
I like the question mark at the end of adventurers.
Yeah, I think the best thing is ne'er-do-wells ? I feel like that's really a really good description.
It's Schrodinger's morality, I think.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna figure that out at the end of the campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Ne'er-do-wells ? Is like our party name. That's our party name.
Yes.
Ne'er-do-wells?
Hello.
Okay, but it's not bad.
We'll talk.
Put it on the list.
Last time the ne'er-do-wells were adventuring in the world, they spent some time in Abaddon, as they have the past couple of weeks. They met up with Luther and spent the day doing a few errands. They visited a magic shop, bought a few things, saw a few wish list items. Then they decided to go out and take care of some basilisks they heard about quite some time ago at Sweetberry Farms. Upon arriving there, fortunately, they saw two statues, which, when dealing with basilisks, means they unfortunately didn't get there in time. But luckily, they defeated the basilisks without any rock-based casualties, which upset me to no end, but I digress. They then started investigating the scene a little bit deeper and found out that things on Sweetberry Farms are not what they appeared. Turns out these dwarven individuals had been up to something. Barney, investigating the house, found a strange discarded disguise kit beneath the bed of the bedroom of this couple. And Brothos had stumbled upon a trap door in their shed, which had led to a subterranean cavern. Upon investigating this cavern, they found a desk containing nefarious notes and a map of the city streets of Abaddon that eerily echoed the scene they had seen when the city was attacked. And in addition to that, they found a rough stone beneath the bench. Seemed to give off some very macabre magic. And in addition to that, they found a tunnel leading deeper into some part of the earth. Where we left off our episode, the party was traveling down this tunnel for quite some time before, I believe, Brothos and Yona's mind started to piece together different pieces of a puzzle. Brothos noticed that they were not just traveling in a straight line underground, they were in fact traveling deeper into the earth. And they all started to posit ideas about what the Underdark was, and if they knew any knowledge about that. When Yona rolled the natural 20 and fit the final pieces of the puzzle together. Not only is the Underdark a deeper part of the world, but also the disguise kit, the strange language in the notes, and the dwarven appearance matched with the Underdark. Yona figured those probably were not dwarves. And that is where we'll pick up. So, Yona, that information rings in your head as those pieces all come together.
Okay, guys, we should probably stop moving. Some thoughts are coming to mind.
Why are you whispering?
I feel like that's what we're doing. I don't remember. It feels like for some reason these last couple of seconds have been like a week to me. So I don't remember. Stage whisper. Who knows? I think the Brothos was saying this might have been Dwarven work, but with you saying that it was going deeper and not just to the sewers, I think this might be leading lower, possibly to the Underdark. And dwarfs don't necessarily build holes straight to the Underdark. So I don't know if this is where we should be going. and am very much regretting getting this far into it so far. Should we go back? Can we go back? I don't want to be right here.
Are you saying that the people back there were not dwarves either?
I can't really tell. Aside from, I mean, they had a disguise kit, so they could have been dressed up, maybe posing to be as dwarves. But without seeing them unstonified, it's kind of hard to tell from them being cut in half and now not in front of us to look further. So I'm gonna put my money on they're probably not dwarves.
Or they are different types of dwarf, huh?
While they're talking, Barney's just gonna kind of like step back from the conversation, lean around them, and like look down the tunnel just to make sure nothing is there or nothing's coming. Just listening and looking. Okay. All right. Well, that's not bad. That is an 18.
18. You look further down. It is very dark in this cavern. Even with dark vision, it's a pretty hard cutoff at your maximum range. But you see further down the 60 feet, there appears to be nothing. You listen for a minute. The occasional stone falls, but you don't hear anything that would imply movement.
Cool. I'll just keep an eye down there as we're talking.
Okay.
So I don't know if we should go further down. I don't know if I feel comfortable going further down if we don't know necessarily what or who made this and why they made this here and why that whole farm was a front. So that's what's come to mind so far.
We originally thought that maybe if we went this way, we would get into the sewers or something, right? And then we could come up through the city.
Yes.
I mean, it's possible that we can still get down to wherever this leads from the city, right? Like maybe if we maybe we can get there from the sewers again.
Possibly, if we
know.
if we go back and go from the sewers to try and get here.
That's
okay,
I'm saying, like, we don't have to
this.
go this way.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No argument here. I am
Sean,
for that.
100%. Can Brothos make a survival check about those other tunnels that were all terminated leading into here? The ones that were like, closed off? Because we haven't passed any open tunnels coming into this tunnel, correct?
You have not. And I will say Barney did inspect 2 of them.
Yeah, and they were closed off. But we didn't think about where they were going, correct?
No.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't go very far down them.
But Barney did see that they were heading back up.
Yeah, so we know they're going up. Like, and at the angle, if we were to speculate kind of where we're positioned, if those would head back towards the city or not.
Make a survival check.
That's an 18.
Ooh, pretty good. So, with your 18, I'll move you guys back to the main map for a second. You were here, Sweetberry Farms, all the way up in the north, right above Abaddon. From that, this basement tunnel started heading this way, down south. So this is the path you're on currently. The other tunnels, you're not sure exactly how far away you are from the city when you find them, but they appeared to be going off of this one to either side.
Okay.
Yeah, so those tunnels would have headed away from the city.
But we are...
This one is heading towards it.
We're headed in the direction of the city, yeah.
We don't think we're under the city yet.
No, you've probably been walking around 2 hours, and even without knowing exactly how far you've gotten, you can assume you're pretty much a good distance away from the city still.
Okay. So it'd be going to other locations outside of the city, those tunnels.
You would assume.
Okay.
I mean, if we want to figure out which way they go, I can always go through them again and just walk, but I would have no way of telling you where I am, so I would just have to hoof it back to the city. So
I don't
dangerous.
like that idea.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Well, I think we have a lot of stuff that we've learned from here so far. We can take this information back to I guess, the authorities if we feel like that might be the right move to make. But this might be bigger than what the city can handle because it's not technically in the city.
I mean, we're not going to be able to handle this, whatever.
Oh, true. Yeah, I have no
is.
intentions of handling this myself. I have no clue how to do any of this. I don't know the order of operation for this type of stuff. So, Reese, what would you do in this scenario? If you came across just...
You're muted.
Hi.
Sorry,
We should not go any further. No. But it is strange, is it not?
Yeah, it's
real weird.
That they talked about being angry that they were under in the dark, yes. Perhaps it is under the city?
Yeah.
But
sounds about right. I mean, you were there when
cannot
Abaddon was
fix.
built, right? So, like, do you know if anybody got kind of shoved down there?
Rebuilt.
Oh, right. Right. Sorry.
with the mountains that they made to surround the city. Did that had maybe disrupted like what could have been around them? If they're from underground and they put large mountains on top of possibly where they came from, is that something that would be affected? I don't know if I'm asking this to Sean or myself out loud.
Well, you need to figure that out before I check.
I don't know. Okay, I'll ask this to Sean then. So, if like by the way that those mountains were made magically, do those just spring up from the ground, or does it push the ground that was under it up, and then more ground just like hollows out or resurfaces?
Make an intelligence check or Arcana check. Actually.
Oh,
would I know anything about this?
Oh, actually, I'm better at that.
You can also make one if he's asking out loud.
Yeah, I'll be speaking out loud to the ethos.
I want to do a thing.
Sure, everyone does. Brothos, you roll. I'm
Probably a bad thing, but I want to do it.
For what the hell is going on?
Fine, don't roll. I'll be fine with it.
13.
That'll be an open-minded 20.
I got a natural 20.
Hey!
That's a 21.
Ooh, nice.
So, Yona, you would know that magic does a lot of things. It would take very, very powerful magic to create Earth out of nowhere. Rhystrata, these mountains and the surrounding mountains were here long before you showed up in Abaddon. But during the rebuilding process, you did hear tell of, spells like Move Earth, but being used by hundreds of druids over time.
Right, but Move Earth, so not like...
It's not creating new Earth.
Right, it had to be taken from somewhere. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it could be whatever was down here was upset that, I guess, years and years ago they destroyed their home and have maybe been rebuilding for some type of siege.
It sounded like they were saying that they had been forced down there, so could be that. Maybe by making the mountains, they also made space to like put people.
Would they be that considerate, though?
I don't know, but I mean, if we wanted to find out more about that, it's possible.
This is
I'm
Josh asking Yona or Matt really quick. What did you share with us about the Underdark?
I shared that I don't think dwarves normally dig that deep to the Underdark, do they?
With the natural 20, I will remind you.
Whatever Sean would have said, I would have Yona blurted out.
Watch the episode back every week. You all rolled. Shut up. You all rolled. It's good content.
I play double D&D.
No, you all rolled high enough to at least have heard of the Underdark at some point. With a natural 20, Matt, you would know that stories of not Duragar, but dwarves digging too deep and entering the Underdark unintentionally. Those are, widely reported. Multiple records of closed mines that you had in the Institute, of just page after page of Dwarven history where it's like, yep, dug too deep there, close that mine, dug too deep there, close that one.
So
it is
those tunnels could be too deep where they've dug. No, I guess all of it is.
Okay, so you say there are type of dwarf who live under, gone too deep. What if this tunnel that we are walking down is tunnel digging out? What if people at farm are type of dwarf? Type of dwarf from Underdark.
Well,
That's
it
true.
is
That would
not
explain the disguise kit.
It is not something that we can fix by standing in this tunnel.
I like it though, it is very roomy.
Yeah, you don't want to stand in the tunnel?
Well, we can stand.
Not particularly fond
We
of
spend
it.
the next 4 hours standing in this.
Standing in a tunnel. No, as we begin to walk out of the tunnel.
Okay.
How deep are we walking in this?
We walked for like.
You walked for 2 hours.
Okay.
Me.
We are 2 hours deep.
Before
will
it dawned
say-
on you, like, hey, we're going deeper, not just across.
With it,
Right.
with it being this deep, I can maybe try to see if we can look ahead just a bit further, since this is probably the farthest we'll go for a while, to see if that might be helpful just before we leave. The thought didn't occur until now. And I'm gonna fold out some paper and I'm gonna just cast Flock of Familiars. I have to make 3, so I'll give the lizard back to Rhystrata to look at while I sit there.
Here, hold this. This is your.
Yeah, that one's
Sit me.
yours.
Emotional support lizard. Just-
And then I'll do the. I'll make the cat, and I'll give that to Barney, and then I'll make an owl, Mr. the Owl, and have him fly down the cavern a mile out.
Brothos gets himself a rock because everyone else has a toy.
Here,
Do you want
Brothos, I'll
to-
trade you.
Oh, this is.
I give Brothos the cat and I take the rock.
Oh. I don't know what to do. with
It comes
this.
to, it is an actual cat.
Oh shit! It moves.
Don't yell at the cat.
Sorry.
And flies out for a mile. If they're within a mile of me, they share the visual and auditory senses.
Okay.
So as far as I can see out, I'll just be like, and now we wait.
Okay.
So
So you send them on for another mile or so ahead, as far as that goes.
yeah, I mean, it can go outside of a mile. I just can't see or hear from it. So as far as it can go and then come back.
Okay. How long does the spell last? Just so
Up to an hour.
up to an hour. Perfect.
So we do stand around in this tunnel for an hour, which I adore.
Well, you don't know.
Please,
You could.
please, can we? Please?
How fast can the owl fly? Will it take it a long time to do a mile and back?
That's a good question. Well, all it needs to do is really just get that far. It doesn't necessarily have to come back because it's
Right.
paper.
How dare you?
I was about to search Mister to see what
Mr. the Owl. Mr. the Owl.
Mr. the Owl. What's
How
the
many
price?
legs does it take?
Pardon?
Let's find out. For speed.
I think it's like 80 feet.
It's an echoey cave.
That's the cat.
Can an owl fly as fast as a human runs?
What is the
I think it's
velocity of a
fast.
sparrow?
Much
So
faster.
it
60
wouldn't take more than like 8
60
minutes. Right?
60 feet.
60 feet.
Yeah.
So you release this owl forward, and it flies down the tunnel. Do you share its vision for the first mile?
Yeah.
You're watching as this thing's flying, and it keeps the same visual, this tunnel, as it extends further and further in. You very sparingly see another section that's been collapsed on the side, and as you go for that mile, there's probably another 2 of those collapses, or 3. You can just see at the end of that mile before it cuts off, but it does look deeper than that.
Get anything?
No, it just seems to be more cut off tunnels that were, I guess, shut down or out of commission, and then it cut out for me. So it's even further than another mile in. So I don't know what could be down there, but it's probably not good, especially with that many offshoots that have been shut down.
Not something that we can handle.
I'm kind of tired.
Secret tunnels are far more boring than advertised.
Especially when they go for this long.
You just walk for hours and look at the stone. Jesus, I like rocks, but this is...
I think that have like
I like rocks, but this is ridiculous.
What's the deal?
What's the deal?
With airship food?
Oh, so we head back.
Yes.
Okay.
That's our time, everybody. We're off the rails.
We are walking. Roll credits while we're walking. Marnie just says, well, I guess I do want to at some point see if we can find the Argonia's Conclave, and we can always ask if we do manage to find them about, like, the mountains and shit and the space underneath, because they were the folks that built the mountains, so they would know, maybe, a little bit.
Or at least, yes.
How long ago were the mountains raised? I'm so sorry. I know you've told us this, but I can't remember.
Me?
Yes.
You would know they were raised roughly 600 to 700 years ago.
Okay. So someone could still be alive.
Just missed it.
Some druids are old as fuck, so there's probably
It is true.
one or two.
I've just realized that Brothos measures the age of this city based on how old Rhystrata is and nothing else.
Oh my god.
Wow, you weren't even born yet when the mountains were raised. You're like a baby. You're like
so
a child. You're so young.
Technically, according to home, I am still very young. It is only here that I am old.
Context. Even in age.
Brothos Masters context. Okay. After a few hours of walking, you eventually emerge to a already in progress night. You see the moon already well in the sky. You gauge probably close to 9 or 10 o'clock.
And how long did it take us to get here?
From where you were in the
4
tunnel?
hours? No, it was 4 hours to get here from
You
Abaddon.
went 2
right?
hours in and then 2 hours back out.
Ooh, wow.
No, to get here from Abaddon.
Oh, that was around 3 or 4 hours walk. But that's around the outside of the city.
Do we want to stay here for the night or head back?
Probably best to stay here for the night. Unless, I don't feel like it's that dangerous to walk along the edge of the city. We can hold our own pretty well, I think. Right? I'm not being too confident.
We did tell Luther and Tony that we would meet up with them.
Tonight?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we can go then. That's fine.
Just feel bad about
Brothos, you pick up a basilisk with me?
Yes!
Oh, I can do what we did
Wait.
before with the stone if we need to, so you guys don't have to tire yourselves out. And if something attacks us, you don't want your hands full.
Very
All right.
considerate.
Is there anything else that needs to be carried?
Did you take that disguise kit?
Yep, got the disguise kit.
And
I have
Putan took the dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we get
Yona,
to-
do you have the scary rock or do I have the scary rock?
I think I have the scary rock, but if you want it back, just don't touch it.
Oh wait,
That was
It's in
the
the
rule.
bag.
it is in
Yeah.
the bag.
Okay, cool. We did put it in the bag then.
Cool.
And you have the bag, right?
Yep.
Okay. Good.
Brothos has question.
Yes, Brothos.
Did we
Yes.
take all of the paperwork on the map from downstairs?
Yes.
We did?
Yes.
Good. Okay. Sorry. I was distracted by the hole.
Yeah, I think I can hold that if we need to, or do want to put that in the bag too.
You want to hold on to it?
Sure. Yeah, I'll organize it.
All right.
Okay. So you guys are heading back?
Bye, sweet berry farm.
Bye.
So, when you arrive back in town, it is very late. Because you have to walk around the exterior of the city to get back to the only entrance, not just the main entrance. But you do arrive, probably around 1 a.m. Yeah. It's very late.
Late is hard when you are not drinking.
Hard to stay up?
Mm.
I'm. Should we go to the guards?
Right now? We do not have the men.
Right. We gotta go get it. Let's go get it.
Yep, we were going to Remy's.
Okay. So you guys head to Remy's?
Mm-hmm.
Using your passes.
Mm-hmm.
For it is a new day.
Mm-hmm.
Can I make a perception check to look?
To
Or is
see
it such a foolproof
make
plan?
a perception check. It's such a foolproof plan.
Oh no, it's a natural
No one will see.
It is a natural one.
Shit.
You go to
geez.
the nearest tram station, and there is nobody with a bracelet on. Anyone you
Alright.
get with a bracelet on, it's yellow or orange, like the ones you guys already have on.
I'll dish out a gold.
Well, I want this to work, so I'm gonna make it work. I'm gonna walk over to the I guess the clerk person that hands out the tickets.
Mhm.
And I'm going to it's like nighttime, like 9 o'clock or something
It's
like that.
1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, hey, morning, late nighttime. How are you doing? Hi.
Looks up from the desk, kind of wipes his eyes, like, "Oh, I'm good."
Hey,
Can
is
I
this
help
by
you?
chance the same person that was hiding under their desk before?
This is
whenever
not. That was a different part of town.
I gotta cash in on that favor at some point. Hey, so I just have a question in terms of the history of this tram and like its origins, where it started from. No one's been able to ask during the daytime, so I thought the best time to ask would be at night. And I was wondering if you could just go over some of the details of like why it was made, how they made it. Basically, I'm trying to bore him to see if I can look at his desk for any type of signs of like what the weekly schedule is for what the colors would be.
Make a performance check.
Sweet.
Do I have guidance? Hang on. Wait. I do not. Okay, never mind.
Apologies.
Just want.
16.
16? Okay. Him already being very tired, you start talking about like history, and he tells you, yes, the rail cart system was designed by the Wizgig family
Okay, yeah.
roughly 70 or so years ago.
Mhm.
Implemented shortly after that. It's just droning on about history, and you
Did they have the right regulations when they started, or did they have to do that after the fact?
basically back and forth about that. Stuff he
Oh my
doesn't
god.
care about.
I'm spending a gold. I'm getting a fucking bracelet.
Oh my
no,
god, thank you! I follow Barney!
This is my
Yes,
thing,
let's
let
go!
me do my thing.
I want you to do your thing.
And I stand for it.
Barney and I get on the
want-
train and leave.
I want you to have your thing.
As society collapsed and you guys
Yeah,
argue
yeah.
until you die.
Barney and Brothos both go and leave, and Ritz is just sitting back watching Yona do this and is like,
But you do see a little. It's not a like schedule, but there is a little thing sort of tucked under the desk where you can see there are 2 or 3 more of those orange bands, and then there are like fuchsia, dark blue, dark green, and then like black.
Cool. I lost my momentum. Thanks, Barney. All right, I pay the gold.
No gold.
All right, then I'll pay the gold for me to Strata. We'll go.
thank you.
You all get
That's
these
cute, Yona.
fuchsia bands around your wrist.
I was gonna guess that one. Okay. All right. I'm gonna figure it out one day. As soon as we figure out that guy who works here, I'm gonna get that schedule one day or another. It just doesn't make any sense. There should be a schedule printed on a wall or something so that people know this is the band you should have properly for this day. Why would they keep it a secret? It doesn't make any sense.
So people can cheat, yes.
Exactly. I mean, not cheat. It's using the system the way it was intended and finding loopholes where they were meant to be found. No cheating has happened.
Exploiting the law, yes.
Sure, that will hold up. I'll find a better phrase for it. We'll discuss this later.
One train ahead, Brothos goes, hey, why do we keep standing around in front of the train all the time?
Well, honestly, like, Yona has a good thing going. Love it a lot.
Yes,
I just wasn't.
I like Yona. He is good.
Yeah, I just wasn't prepared to do that tonight. I just wanted to. I feel really bad. I don't want to keep them up.
Come back to the other cart, and it's like I thought Barney would have enjoyed me trying to take advantage of the system. And
Yona, you do not understand. You do not understand. Barney is trying to get to a Deke appointment.
Oh, he could have just said that. Everyone respects that law. If he would have told me, I would have paid the gold before. Oh, now I feel bad. All right, well, hopefully he's still there.
I'm sure it will be fine.
Okay, well, we'll call this even because he did hit me with a door, so that's fine. We're cut back to the other car. What you guys?
Hey, what is a dick appointment?
We gotta drive in the ladder square. Where's your...
We arrive like a minute later. Hello.
Where did we? Oh, gone. Where did we say we were going to meet up with him?
Remy's.
Right?
I think you gave him your room key?
Sitting in your room, Barney.
Oh, God.
He was instructed to take it there and leave it in your room as long as the door's repaired.
Oh, do you want to bring the basilisk with you as like a trophy?
I don't think that's like... I mean, no. No, I don't think so. I think it's weird enough having like a statue in the room.
Watching.
It's a little strange from the corner, you know? A little weird.
Maybe he can
You're gonna turn it away, yeah.
Just like speed walking.
I am unsure about the mechanics of the stone.
Oh God. And go upstairs and poke my head in the door or knock.
All right. You knock on your door's room.
My own door.
Fresh new door.
It is very fresh and new. But you actually notice that the door knob section is the same. The key works, but the rest of the door is completely new. And from the interior, you can very clearly hear very loud snoring from
Oh, buddy.
someone. But as you knock on the door, there's a moment of uncomfortability. You knock again, then you hear, oh shit. You hear running to the door, and then it opens, and you see Luther there wiping his eyes like, hey, what time is it?
Sorry.
You guys are much later than I thought.
We found a tunnel, and we walked down it, and then it went really deep, so we turned around and we came back.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. As long as everything's all right.
Yeah, everything's fine. They're coming. We're just, I don't really know what the plan is.
Cool. So what do you want me to do with him? And you look further into the room, and there is a small figure that has been covered in Yona's cloak. Right next to that, you see 2-ton sleeping on one of the beds, nearly crushing it.
How about we just get both of those out of here right now?
Brothos comes down the hallway. Hey, oh, these go in my room. I need these for me. You guys go ahead. Hey, Tony, come on. And he takes the statue and Tony, if he can.
Okay,
just drag Tony.
Wake him up?
Yeah, Tony, hey. He's
like...
It's... Da-da-da-da-da. Opsis, come. Let's go.
Pushes you onto the ground. Rolls over.
Come on, let's go.
And eventually you corral him and you get him out of the room.
Sorry.
Picks up the statue and just walks out of the room with it.
You are sleeping with me.
Good night.
Hey, Brothos.
Hey.
Just in case you need it, he's gonna take the bag off and just hand it to him. This has everything in it. Just take that.
This is the most responsibility you have ever given me.
I'm taking it back tomorrow.
Okay.
Unless you want to keep it. You can keep it.
No. It makes sense. Okay. He puts it on. It doesn't really fit very well over his shoulders. Okay, here we go.
You have to sling both things over one shoulder.
Okay. Good luck. This is... Bye.
I turn to Luther and just sigh.
I don't know why they don't think I can hear them. Because it's all of them.
I know, it's all of them. I think they just really enjoy seeing how embarrassing they can make this for everyone involved. And for that, I'm very sorry.
I mean, they're good people. He just sort of looks at you for confirmation. Right?
Yes, they're
okay.
They're good people.
Okay.
All right. They're all right.
I enjoy them.
For people with no values, they're pretty good.
Yeah. I do.
Yeah.
Sort of get that.
Well, I really only have like 2 things that we could possibly do. I don't know if you have any ideas, but either we can go downstairs and go to Mal's and get a drink, or we can stay here.
It's kind of late for a drink. Yeah, I did have a question.
Yes.
What is this? And he points to this giant scorch mark on the floor of where you summon that lightning sphere. He says, I don't think that's, standard on the rooms.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, you can tell me later. And he closes the door.
Fantastic.
Finally!
You guys have a nice long talk about drugs and how
9
I'm kidding.
fucking 7 episodes later. I did it, everybody.
You lost the bottomless mimosa drink.
Hell yeah.
Yay.
A few hours later, and cool boy. Ship would have sailed. But you all get your long rest. You wake in the morning.
Oh, finally.
Some of you later than others. I'll let you guys figure out who that is. It's Brothos.
Oh, nice.
Good morning.
Fresh day before you. Brothos, you've had this weird feeling that you've been being watched all night. And as you wake up in the morning, you notice that the what's it called? Cape has fallen off the statue, and you just see this dwarven farmer with the pitchfork staring at you in your bed.
Yes, get a good look. Oh, he kind of gets up. Yes, you are. Yes, I know. I have this effect. So they're working out, I do.
Pitchforks in anger?
Amazing.
Okay. Hey, Tani. Tani, wake up.
He sort of slowly rolls over at you.
Hey.
And in giant, he'll say, "You scream in your sleep." Sort of like turns back over.
Fuck.
I do?
It's more of a yodel.
This is first time anyone ever tells me this. How much did I do it?
He rolls over. You see his eyes are like beet red and there's bags under him. He's like, very much.
Oh, no.
Holy
Brothos sings in his sleep.
Holy shit, honey, I am so
best.
sorry. Let me get you breakfast. Eh?
This is acceptable apology.
Yes, I know you.
Rolls over the
Apologize. My
bed.
stomach is good. Okay, here we go.
Yep.
Do you think we bring the Starium statue with us?
He looks at you, back at the statue, looks back at you.
We're both doing the same thing in unison.
Yeah. It's like, I don't want to carry it.
Yeah, fuck it. It's gonna stay here. We'll get breakfast. We come
Yeah.
back.
And
He looks at the
goes towards
statue. Don't move! It's a joke, okay. Go
Where
get
would you all like to go for the day?
Well, we should probably munch.
Breakfast.
And
Some
crummy.
breakfast. Standard.
issue.
And then
Did
I
we
guess
bring the parts for the basilisk to the restaurant for money, or did we want to take that to the shop for parts?
First, we leave it outside of the Scarred Assembly, yes, and he comes out, then he looks and he says, "You have done
Oh,
it,"
yes,
and then he
yes,
pays
yes,
us. Yes.
I almost forgot about that. Yes, Where's my notebook? I'll write that down.
so guard assembly, and then I guess we go see the guards.
Yes.
Okay.
We left the statue. Is this okay?
We
and
will
I
come back
could
for
grab
it.
my cape.
Okay.
Sorry,
Yeah.
it was cold. I should grab my cape.
Okay.
Cool. All right. So
You all head to the Scarred Assembly
after some nice brekkie,
after a
Get the- nice brunch.
All right.
Delicious.
As you all arrive in the oh wow, I had the worst brain fart.
The
really
military
one of those
district.
Yeah, it's like the military
Champions Row.
district.
Champions
Yeah.
Row.
Aha.
The familiar guild hall. You enter it this early in the day. Again, very empty. You get the sense that monster hunters don't like to sit in a tavern during most parts of the day. So this place is probably empty most days. But you see your old friend Dundad.
Dundad, we have another for you. We left it outside.
You are learning. This is good to see. And
Yes.
he'll walk out from around the bar and out into the front of the store or the guild hall. Look over the basilisk. Did you bring the whole bodies or just the heads?
I think we brought one body.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And he'll just look over it. And there were others like this.
3.
3. Oh my goodness. You are cleaning my board clean. That was not the right way to say that. Anyways, and he goes back inside and comes back out with a small chest of 800 gold. There you go.
What do you say? 400 in the main fund, 100 for each of us?
Sounds good.
Okay.
Good.
Thank you, Dundad.
No problem. If you have any more need for contracts, you know where to come.
Of course.
Right.
Add my gold. Wow.
Hell yeah.
I am rich.
All
You guys
right.
are poorer
Chris
than
would
me,
never
yeah.
say that.
Risk Googles, how much is bail?
You're acting like Riz has never been in jail before. She knows
I
what
only think
bail
the
is.
highest risk.
Just
Yona would
being a
never
guild
think
member
they
give
were
you
ever
diplomatic
arrested.
immunity.
Diplomatic
Diplomatic
immunity.
immunity.
What would you guys like to do next?
Should we go back and get the stone man?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's go get it.
Okay.
Yep.
You return. If you guys wanted to bring them along.
Or did they dip?
Just gonna kick him to the curb. That's on you, Barney. What do you want?
Oh,
I mean,
I
Here's the thing. They can't take the tram, or at least 2-ton can't.
yeah.
Right.
So
I'll
you
I'll
wanted-
leave it up. I'll just say like, we're gonna be running around a lot, so you can hang if you want, but you don't. I don't wanna. If you don't wanna.
he looks a bit 2-ton. He's like, I mean, he like looks real awkwardly. Everyone's like, I don't want to make it like weird, but we should probably get back out there. We've been inside the city for like 3 days. So he points towards the outside of the gates. It's like,
Oh no.
take off.
Yeah. No, it was thanks. Thank you. Nice.
Thank you too.
I just meant thanks for spending.
No. Yeah, me too. That's what I meant. And he looks at everyone else.
Hi.
She picks him up and puts him on like over his shoulder. He's like, "This is embarrassing." And they walk away.
Yep.
I
Reese
cannot. I can't.
Smiled
do this
with the joy of knowing that Luther completed that. No, Barney completed his task.
I cannot do this again. It's usually just one night stands with people who are no regret, who just like
Are
one
you
and
saying you
done.
have? Are you saying you have regret?
No, I regret having it happen for so long. It just should have. It's fine. Let's
Do you
keep
want
going.
to just
Don't
is
say that.
it just a one thing, or do you want to see him again?
I'm not ready to answer these questions. I'm not ready to.
What else did we talk about on the tram ride?
I have so many things on my brain right now. Let's just keep going. Please.
Fair enough. Someone just put the Final Fantasy victory sound in the chat. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Okay, back to Remy's.
So you'll return to the inn you're staying at. Brothos' room now holds this dwarven individual. Brothos, are you carrying him? Okay. He is... It's still obviously a statue to anyone who looks at it. A very detailed, realistic statue. But a statue nonetheless. So
what is our plan? Do we want to get him unstoned and then take him to the guard, or take him to the guard as is?
nice, dude.
Thank you. Thank you very much. He's so fucking high.
He's blitzed. He thinks he's petrified.
I mean, we might be able to, but if anybody was going to know anything about that, it would be like maybe some of the people at church or
Orofe?
Yeah, I'll say Ophane.
Orophane.
I've been muted for a very long time.
Should we take
To the
basket
audience?
Yeah.
to Ophane as well?
Damn it.
That's where the
Hurts.
episode audio is going to be taken
Oh
out of.
no!
Oops.
Hurts.
Hello, audience. Sorry. Nothing I said was important.
So, podcast listeners, Josh had been here
Lies.
the whole time.
All right.
Wait, was that like from the beginning of the session, or just like recent?
No, just recently.
Okay.
I hope not.
I was like,
Okay,
I
good.
feel like
There was a reason that I had to mute
you did
myself
an intro
on the
so, like,
system.
Yeah,
I see. Okay.
gotcha.
No, you're good. Yeah, let's go see Ophane. Just right across the street. Let's just go run over.
Not much of an issue.
Yeah. So we'll take the basilisks to Ophane and the stone person.
Oh, should we
Or
take
do
the
we-
basilisks to the place we can sell them?
Well, I think
Yes.
Ophane also said that he might take them for parts, possibly.
Oh.
I
He
think
just said if you found anything interesting, let him know.
that seems
Maybe
kind of-
we
An
can
entire body.
split up.
I found a man.
I found
I
this
got a
corpse on the side of the
dude.
road. Fuck the energy. Okay.
Maybe, like,
Maybe.
statue is heaviest, most awkward thing. Maybe we do this first.
We can also stay together. I was going to suggest we split up and do two things at once, but
We could do that. That is smart.
okay. It probably won't take us as long to like sell the bodies, so I'll take some of the bodies. Anybody else wants to come with me? I can't carry all of this by myself.
Okay. Which who's going where to what place?
I will go with Barney.
Okay. And then Brothos and I are going to the church or Ophane's? Or we're
Y'all are going to Ophane's,
We're going.
Okay.
Okay. Yes.
gotcha. Okay.
and we will come meet you when we have sold the body parts.
Cool. Okay.
So, why don't we get the basilisk selling out of the way? I take it to Skrick. He looks it over. This is genuine basilisk. This is pretty good. Fresh kill? How fresh? We're talking hours, days?
Hours.
Wonderful. I will give you 150 for the whole thing.
Lisa, we have brought you so much. Why not 175? Because we are friends.
Make a persuasion check.
Watch me. I got a nat 20 the last time. I feel like I gotta pay the piper.
Because we are friends.
Do I want to? No, I should save my fancy rolls for later.
Yeah. Natural 20? It's a 1.
Is it the good one?
Oh boy.
That's
We're at 2 for the
insane.
session. This is good. He's real good.
Okay. He looks it over a little bit. He says, sounds like a fair price, but you see head sort of smashed in down here. So part of this isn't really usable. I was going to try some new recipes with the glands of poison. But,
Of course. That
Not
makes so
toxic.
much sense.
don't tell anybody about that. That was supposed to be a secret.
The poison?
Are you making poison food?
No. Completely edible. Didn't want anybody to know my recipe.
Of course.
There's 11 herbs
Your
and
secret
spices.
is safe with us.
I found a 12th herb.
Oh my god!
He's discovered umami.
Sanders is out of business. All right, so we'll take the
He's not
150,
lying, right?
I suppose.
He's not lying, right?
You can make an insight check if you'd like to.
Basilisks are the blowfish. of
Colonel Skrick.
land going nuts.
Well, not
Lizard.
super great, but I have a pretty good insight. It's an 11.
It doesn't seem to be lying,
Cool.
as far as you can tell. But he gives you the 150 agreed upon that he gave.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Sorry.
How should we split that? What do you think?
I think with that we can just put it into the party fund. We can confirm, but it's fine.
Going in.
Okay. And we'll jump back over to O'Faint. As you all walk in with this fucking statue.
Hits the door frame. Ow.
You hear the familiar stomping of O'Faint as he comes around one of his glass cases and looks towards you and says, "Oh my, what are you doing?" And he runs over to help you put it down.
We were fighting a basilisk, and it was on a farm outside of the city. And somebody, I think, this is a casualty, but they're not broken. So we didn't know who or where we could take this to possibly fix it or undo it. And you were the first person that came to mind. So
That's very kind of you.
yeah, I mean, well, hopefully, I think. Thank you. What do we do?
Let's go. Well, basilisk, you say? Grave business. I don't believe I have the means to unpetrify at the time. I could check in the back, but last time I did inventory, I don't remember any ointments or solvents that could fix this problem. If you're looking for this individual to be repaired, there are a number of places you could try.
Where do you recommend?
You could try over at the Church of the Ever-Burning Forge,
Oh, I know them.
although something like that may require a donation. Again, I could try and whip up some sort of antidote, but that would take time as well. Yes.
We will try church, and if they cannot help, maybe we come back to you.
All right. I'll see what I can do about getting some prep work done. It's unprofessional of me not to have one of those around.
Another question. Since it came to mind, Brothos,
Yeah.
are you holding Barney's bag,
I would assume I gave it back to Barney, unless. Oh yeah, do I have it, Barney?
or to the?
I've still got. I would have gotten it back from you.
Okay,
Cool, okay,
I
never
was
mind
gonna
then.
say.
But we're
Never
catching
mind.
up with you, so we'll be there in a second.
Okay. As we're walking out the door, then we.
Ding, ding, ding,
Well,
ding, 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 ding.
He holds the door up and helps you like not to hit any of his
Thank you.
furniture or walls.
Here we go,
Yeah.
Rockwell.
Do you think it would make sense to maybe break the pitchfork off, or would that just maybe not make it as stabby?
Are we with them now?
Yeah, you would be approaching them as they're entering or exiting the building.
So what did he say?
He said the church of the Everburn.
Ever burn in flame. We can talk to
that one.
Yazria.
Torch.
He is friend.
Oh,
All right. Good.
cool.
Cool.
Have any?
Awesome.
Barney.
We probably shouldn't have them do anything like that until this guy is like in a place where he's not gonna like kill people or endanger people.
Well, we could break the spiky parts off of the pitchfork he's holding, because that
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily need to come back.
I'm just saying, if he was one of the people who was in charge of like taking care of that rock, whatever the fuck it is, then
True.
you know maybe
Ooh.
we should bring him
Speaking of that
with
rock,
us.
should we have
Yes.
O'Fane check that out? Just to know if you might know what that's from, or maybe not. We know it's not good, but we don't know what it is.
It's not a bad plan.
I mean, I feel like we could trust him. It's not like we did anything bad. We just found it.
Yeah. Okay.
However,
Let's maybe go inside before we take it out of the bag, though. Just
Yeah,
to-
right.
one thing though, the thing that happened in Aridon, highly illegal. Highly. So perhaps any affiliation we have with that would be dangerous to show.
I mean, it's not an affiliation. We just found it.
Well, we can say that it is not an affiliation, but what reason does O'Fane have to trust us?
I mean, I feel like we're his friends now, or at least we bought something from him. That's pretty good.
Friendship is a
Well, I'm
transactional
starting
relationship.
to apply my logic to friendship, Yonan. I don't know that this is a good idea.
I'm regressing.
I am simply saying that after an attack of that kind, walking in with something like that and saying that we found it, it is not something you just find normally, yes?
Okay, well, we can hold off. We don't have to for now. If we
It is
get more
simply
information,
an observation, yes.
it's a
Or
good
perhaps
observation.
when we know O'Fane better.
Sure, yeah. How did it go with the basilisk over at Scrix?
150 gold.
Nice. Did he notice the dent in the skull? Thought so.
Dent in the skull. Who did that?
So we're not going to mention to the guards that we found a map that
Now that
matches.
we should mention, yes.
Yes, but isn't the stone a part of it? Like,
That is true.
True.
It all goes together as evidence.
Yes, evidence.
Canon.
So
I mean, I
let's-
don't exactly. I would trust O'Fane more than I would trust the guard.
Should we put it to a vote?
Who is the guard? Are we like going to find an important guard, or like a boss guard, or are we
I just
going
meant
to, like...
The guard
think
is
the
in
idea-
the organization.
Oh, like a smart. Okay, I get you.
I suppose if we are turning it into the guard, that showing it to O'Fane is fine.
I mean, they probably have someone who they can ask about it. I don't know. But
I'll stay out here with Rockwell, and you take the stone inside.
Nice.
His name's Sam.
nailed it, dude.
It's Rockwell. How dare you.
All right. Well,
He can hear you.
Oh,
you,
Normie.
He watched
Rhystrata,
me
do you want to
sleep.
come inside as well? Does everybody want to come inside, or I'll just
Yeah,
For
I can
sure.
go
I
into. I'll tell him what I learned so far.
go inside? Hello again. Sorry.
We are back.
You see him like buffing out a scuff that you guys put on one of his
Sorry.
walls. Goes, "Hey, hello! He just, like, hides the white cloth and he's like, how may I help you? Oh, you're all back.
Remember how we said we might have some magical things for you to take a look at?
Yes.
I think we have a few of those.
Splendid. You could leave your statue friend outside. Thank you.
I stayed outside with Roscoe.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And he will usher you towards his little desk. You see
Now,
like baubles and stuff beneath the glass.
these are things that we found with our statue friend. And so we are planning on turning him into the guard. But we wanted to check with you first.
All right.
Let
I
me
will
do,
not be implied.
I might have you do one, just a little warm up first. Something less weird. Less weird?
Eh.
I'm going to pull out the servant box with the raven skull in it.
Okay.
And sort of place it at his workstation.
Okay.
We found this at a hag's hut at house
I see.
domicile.
Just sort of looks at it. He pokes at it a little bit. Nothing happens. He's like, all right, well, my standard price for identification is 15 gold.
Yeah, I'll throw him 15 gold
I
from
appreciate
my
it.
own.
Oh my god.
What?
This is what the party fund is for, Barney.
Oh.
No, that's for drinks, dude. You'll see him place it,
Those
like,
gold
open
pieces
the
for
box. And this familiar images, you saw it last time, where his two metal braces on either of his horns begin to like glow a light blue that matches the way his eyes glow, and he looks it over and he says, ooh, ew. All right. Would you mind a demonstration?
As long as I don't end up dead, I'm good with it.
Oh, no. nothing like
Or
that.
them either. Don't kill them either.
I meant all of you are fine.
Except for you.
Bought something. I'm not in the business of killing my customers. And he takes the small skull, places it on the desk, and then in Sylvan, you hear him. Do both of you speak Sylvan?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
I
So
do.
I do not, but Yona does.
okay. So those who speak Sylvan, you can hear him out loud say the word servant in Sylvan. And the raven skull begins to like clatter on the desk, and then you watch as this spine juts out of the skull,
Fuck yeah, dude.
and these nerves begin to run down the spine, and slowly this bird begins to construct itself out of the skull. First bone and skeleton, then nervous system, and then muscle fiber. Finally, the feathers begin to grow out of that muscle fiber. He says,
Okay, Yennefer.
And then you see him like speaking to like, disgusting, but
It's a bird.
it is a bird. Essentially, it works like the wondrous figure of the raven, but slightly different look.
Does it only work once?
No, let me find out, because it is in D&D Beyond, and it has been since you guys found it. But
Oh, I've just had
It's
it
called like
in.
servant box, or is it?
I've had
something
it
different?
in my equipment as hag box.
yeah,
Hack box.
I actually made the item in D&D.
Hell yeah.
Is it called hack box?
No, I don't think so. Hag box. Oh shit! There it is.
Whoa.
Hag box.
No, it's called the Hag's Servant. HAG''S, and then servant. If anyone wants
I
to look
see.
that up and add it to their
Nice.
inventory.
I do want to.
I'm adding that to my inventory.
But he explains to you. It's a silver raven statuette that becomes a raven for 12 hours. Once it has been used, it can't be used again for 2 days. And while the raven is in its raven form, you can use it to cast the spell Animal Messenger at will.
Cool.
I like hold my finger out to the bird.
He's like, do it. And the bird jumps up on your finger,
Hello.
just sort of like looking at you, twisting its head back and forth.
scratch it.
It is sweet.
It's so.
Aww.
Scree.
He's so
Sorry.
cute. How do you?
I did that. That was my voice. Podcast listeners, that was me.
It's a talent.
Sorry. There it is.
That's so cool. So does he only listen to you?
No, he will listen to you when you do it next.
Do you have to speak in Sylvan?
Yes, unfortunately, that is apparently the code word they used to enchant this creature, so servant in Sylvan is the word to activate it.
Can you teach me how to say it?
Sure. He will teach you how to say it. It's just going to go through the pronunciation.
I put the bird on my shoulder.
Yona's gonna cut you a little index card that just has it for like a little study guide thing where it's just
The
Sylvan
phonetic
101.
pronunciation?
The word.
Yes.
It's trickier on the syllables.
But he
Thanks.
says it again, and then you see the skull sort of like retract back in reverse,
Oh.
the way it came to life, and then he puts it back into the box. It says, "So I don't think I used any time. Should be good for another 12 hours."
He's cute. Well, thank you for that.
Anytime.
Less pleasant things now, if that's possible.
Less pleasant than the sinewy bird. Correct. All right. Next up.
Oh, pain.
Just sort of stand there awkwardly staring at you.
Yeah, there's really no way to kind of preface this. And he's just kind of reach into the bag and pull that box out and just like put it on the table and then open it.
You open it and you immediately hear that chorus of whispering voices that sort of have this incoherent stream of noise. And as he just sits there in it for a few seconds, he's like, "What is this?"
So from what I can tell, it's a stone that has a lot of voices coming from it, and it seems to be used as a focus of some kind for spells. And go into the details of what I was able to find while investigating it myself. But we don't know. It doesn't just don't touch it, I think, is the big thing I got from it when I looked at it, but couldn't make heads or tails from it.
He had picked up the box when you said that, and as soon as you said, "But don't touch it," he puts the box back on the table and says, "All right."
Should have led with that, sorry.
So you would like me to take a look at this?
I mean, yeah, if
If it won't
if you're-
hurt you.
comfortable with that.
Well, you see my problem. Let me see what I can do. And he walks just off around the corner. Comes back a minute or two later, putting on these very thick, like fabric gloves. It's like, okay, 15 gold. Up front, very much please.
All right, I'll take this one out of the community
Right.
gold.
Okay.
Barney, maybe you should. I will whisper this so that O'Faint can't hear it. I'm like, maybe you should give him 20 for this.
Yeah, I was wondering
Yes.
that, but I didn't want to do it without asking. Yeah, put 20 gold down on the counter.
Okay. And he will pick the box up and mutter the incantation. The metal bracers light, and he, with the gloves on, touches it. And a few minutes later, because this is a ritual spell, he pulls his hand away and goes, "Don't like this. This," and he closes it, slides it around the table. "This is concentrated undeath. Where did you
Pardon?
find this?"
Outside the city.
Where?
Are you familiar with Sweetberry Farms? Farms?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Well, that's
It's north
there.
of the city.
Prefacing
Outside.
this, if it helps, we are heading straight after this to the authorities.
That is the correct move. And you see as he begins to like tug on this single braid. And he's sort of, this sort of pure, concentrated essence of undeath does not originate on this plane. Forgive me. And he walks away for a second again around to that like back room where he was to get the gloves. Comes back out with a book and opens it and begins flipping through. Oh. From what I can tell, from cursory glances, you are correct in your mentioning that it is possibly used as some sort of focus. Something like this would very much have needed to be involved in what happened in the city.
It was found with a map.
I see.
I'll bring out the map to show them what it looks like. That helps with knowing what they were specifically planning, too. That could help.
Hello?
Hey, did you get any
I went
report
to
back?
turn y'all up and it was apparently on my speakers. Hold.
1 second, please.
There we go.
I'm getting another call. Hello?
Thanks. You can't hear us. He's wearing AirPods.
So, I love Raycons.
This episode sponsored.
Dude.
Just two little pebbles sticking out of his ear. He says, I believe something like this. And he points towards the book and says, I believe it originated from the abyss.
Ah,
This is possibly one of the only ways you can channel some sort of pure undeath, like the city saw the other week. You are correct to take this to the authorities.
perhaps we should not take this man out of stone then?
You found it with this one.
Yes.
Yeah.
I say you turn both over.
Question, O'Fane. You had said before, and this is just to get more information on maybe where it came from, or aside from the spell specifically, is it possible that you could maybe try and use the pop-up book to learn more about where it came from? I don't know if that like takes away of the like use of the book, but I feel like if you have that at your resources.
For a second, he shifts back in from like this unnerved, like scared stance. He shifts slightly back into that salesman. He says, actually, no, the book recharges every dawn. But I don't think it would help much here, as I would need to know a specific name of something. I fear that this is merely a shard of something originating from the abyss. Yes. And that silence sort of lingering in the air.
Yeah, it's like,
So,
well,
we'll
thank you for your...
I'm gonna
info.
close the lid of the box just to be like it. That
he closed it once he with an identifying
Oh, dope.
and
Okay,
pushed
cool,
it
cool,
away
cool,
from
cool,
him.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While they're all doing this,
Mhm.
Brothos is out front of the statue.
Mhm.
And they've been casting Identify, right? So this has taken a while.
Yeah, it's taken about 20, 25 minutes so far.
About 10 minutes in, he starts dressing up the statue in his clothes that he's pulled out of his backpack. And he's put like a little shirt on, and he like tipped him over and put pants on him.
Okay. It's
Brothos
very-
has a shirt?
He doesn't wear it, but he has one.
It just says like Gold's
He
Gym.
owns a shirt.
I own a shirt. You've
It
never
is
seen him wear
very,
it.
difficult to get a shirt to stay on the statue as it is holding both hands on a pitchfork. But it is,
It's mostly like sleeves over the head with just like the
sleeves
head
over the
poking out
head.
a little bit. Yeah.
It's like it was wearing a sweater, but its arms are pulled out of the sleeves and like below it.
Yeah.
And the pants are actually very easy to get on, as both legs are far apart, or not too far apart to put pants on, but they're separated.
Look at you,
Classic.
Rockwell. You are so handsome now.
We come out and we were like, Rockwell is very evil. No.
Okay.
All right.
Anything else you want to do, Brothos, in that space
That is
time?
my entire time.
Okay. I love it. It's beautiful. But he does mention that I believe the authorities should be made aware of this almost immediately.
Yes.
I mean, do you want to come with us?
Did you see Sean and I make the same
Oh my
face?
gosh. My brain immediately was like, I gotta sell stuff to people. I don't know if I got time for like the
Also,
authorities.
he doesn't fucking know you. This could be your stuff.
I was
So
just.
we're-
You don't have to. I just thought that it might be helpful to have somebody who knows exactly what it is to explain to the guards.
You
What
can
it
tell
is.
them that if you need a reference for the source of magic you are detecting, they can come and talk to Ofe and Mausrid.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Can I have you sign this release form confirming that? Rip off a sheet of paper.
All right, yes. Yes, okay. Checks out.
Look out
Any
for the
idea?
fine print. Yona messes with that.
Yeah. Guys,
Here's
he
the
doesn't know
Yona.
this, but he also just signed away the rights to the book. I'm kidding.
No.
Are you giving him your book?
No. I'm ripping out a page.
Okay.
Heck no. I'm not gonna,
I was
no
gonna
one's
say.
getting that.
He'll, sign a note
Mhm.
saying that he, he identified it personally and all that stuff is verified.
Thank you.
All right. Okay.
Onward to the jail, to the people. To
How'd
Reese, where do we go?
It went.
That does not
He's
sound
very evil man.
good. Who, Rockwell?
Yes.
He looks fine.
Hmm.
The stone is bad then?
looks can be deceiving.
Where's the guards' headquarters?
Let's
out of
check
character.
this.
Probably at Champions Row.
There are a large portion of Champions Row that's used for guard housing.
Ah.
There are various, places where guards are stationed or posted throughout the city. But you don't know exactly where the head of the guard would be. Reese, you can roll a history check for the last time you were here.
That is a... What's my history modifier? I think just +1. 16.
16. You would remember that the head of the guard, the captain of the guard, is usually stationed in the palace. Doesn't have like an out and about sort of headquarters or anything like that.
Yes, when I don't think that we can access the head of the guard, but there are guards everywhere.
Oh, I mean, I
Yes.
don't want to talk to the one person. I just want to find the place where they all gather. I don't know. Maybe we
Maybe we
Would
should
I-
bring this up to
Would
like
I know where like a lot of guards hang, Sean?
With a 16? Yeah. There's actually a large clock tower in the center of the lattice square that also acts as a guard station, a guard post for the entire district.
I guess we can look.
We're in Lattice, so I just
You
pointed
can look
to
outside the
it.
big clock tower.
Yeah. I
Oh,
do
'cause
want to
they're
do
on a
something
block.
before we physically reach the guards, Sean. So just whenever we head there and start seeing them.
We are not going to go to Yazriel.
I think we
He should not
shouldn't-
be changed out of stone
No.
Yet.
yet.
Okay.
My palms are sweaty.
this week. Dang it.
There's
Nice.
nothing. There's
God.
nothing to worry about.
Sean and I jumped on that real quick. We knew.
Distinction.
Lightning.
Aha.
Awesome. Good. So where would you guys like to go next?
Guess we're heading to the clock tower, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So no longer going to the church. Now going straight to the clock tower. Okay.
While we're walking, I'm going to give Brothos a play-by-play of what we did in there, just so he knows what was happening while he was playing dress up with Rockwell, and tell him about like the gloves and stuff like that. And I was like, I almost tried to get him to use the book, but he said it recharges once a day. And I was onto something, but I think he really didn't want to use the book. I guess that would have diminished the selling price, because I would have called him on that when I do go eventually buy that book, and be like, hey, you did use it earlier, so it's not technically new. So I don't know if that would have worked or not.
I blanked out when you said book, but everything before that was very interesting. You said you said the stone then is the thing that made the kapow with all the dead people?
Maybe not so loud. Just
Said that the stone was the thing that made the kapow with all the dead people?
Yeah, it's possibly. That's what we're trying to, I guess, turn into the guards to let them know that we're not responsible for it, but also it's not in the wrong hands. And then we'll also give them like all the maps and stuff too.
Oh, you are a naughty boy, aren't you? Okay.
Jesus.
Oh, is that how I am with the book? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. As you approach the guard tower, and along the way also, you notice that the guard presence in the lattice square is still high. They're still showing that strength that they put on after the attack. But there is a large clock tower, and in the base of it, there are these archways where you can see a few guards standing, talking to one another. Looks like there's archways on each face. And at the top of the clock tower, you notice that there are these small openings where the occasional avian or Aarakocra would fly in. Just as you're looking from a distance, I know there's something you wanted to do, Sarah.
Yeah, I want to say when we're about like 100 yards from the clock tower, I'm gonna stop everyone and I'm going to say, listen, perhaps you should stay back for a moment. God, it is always hard to say things like this. If I see you again, it will be good. And if I do not, it has been wonderful adventuring with you all. And Rhys like does a little
Wait, what?
and
you
then
talking
walks
about?
towards the clock tower.
What the fuck are you talking about? If we see you,
Reed, what are you talking about? Why would you say something like that?
There is something I have to take care of. You should not be with me, okay?
Okay.
It is private.
We're all walking in the same general direction to the
You
same.
stay for a moment.
Okay.
You will know.
Okay.
So
Off
you all
she goes.
watch
Two,
Rhys
Mississippi, three, Okay,
walk
let's go.
right up
What's
to
up?
the second.
Yeah, I walk right up to like a good gaggle of the guards, and she is like, "Hello."
Hello, can we help you, ma'am?
Oh, the word has not spread. I am here to turn myself in.
They both look at each other like, for what, may I ask?
I punched the asshole noble.
And you hear the other one say, you'll have to be more specific.
I'm sure there are a lot of asshole nobles, yes.
The other one looks and says, I'm not... I'm
Dylan.
sorry, They both drop their expression. You assaulted Deliam Nathric.
If that is his last name.
All right, will you come with us, ma'am?
Of course.
Okay. And they both
Yank.
walk you into
Should we?
the three of you watch as Rhystrata just has a simple back and forth with these guards and then is led into the guard tower.
We should.
I
go...
walk into the guard. I
Yeah.
walk after her.
Okay. Two guards stop you and says, excuse me, this is off limits.
Two things. One, you took our friend in there. What was going on with that?
One of the guards that took one of their places says, from what they told us, your friend just committed to assault.
Oh. Okay.
What?
Who? I mean,
we're processing the situation still. Can
as
we?
are we?
I mean, I assume anyone that she would have assaulted, we would have assaulted, right, guys?
Why is my party this way?
Well,
It's like that Always Sunny. The title card just says everyone goes to jail.
so Brothos, I don't think that's what he means when he says that they assaulted someone specifically. That's usually like an individual, not like a group effort type of thing.
I'm sorry, am I to believe you're also confessing to the crime of assault?
No, not at all.
It depends
don't
who,
know.
because we've hit a lot of people.
Mostly monsters.
Mostly.
Yes, we work for the.
Sometimes ghosts.
We're part of the guild.
We're actually we came here for a different reason. We would really like it if we could talk to somebody about the thing that happened during the march a little while back. We might have some we might have some information regarding that, and we'd really like to be of help.
They leap back after this very weird back and forth between like, should we arrest these people? Are they confessing to we have information of a different crime? You see them sort of pull back, and you lean over, or you see one lean over to another and whisper something, and the other one nods their head and says, "You have information on the attack on the city."
But it's not something that we can share out here.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh boy. Can I do a quick little casty cast? No, it takes me an action. It takes me an action to do enhance ability, and that's fine. I'll just do it.
We've done this whole thing with a giant statue of a dwarf dressed in.
Yeah, he's standing next to you, fully clothed.
Yeah.
That is a hot
Doubly clothed.
7.
A hot 7.
Sure is.
Okay, so you ask them to, or you say you can't show them out here, and he just touches and says, "Like, I'm going to need some basis of information to call this in."
Okay, I think we got off on the wrong foot. I don't even think we had a foot to get off on at this point. We work with the guild hunting monsters and creatures. We were fighting a basilisk. Yes, the assembly. And we were fighting a basilisk, hence the stony man here, Rockwell. That's not his real name. We made that up. We do that sometimes with things.
We have only ever assaulted people who have assaulted.
Gloss over that. Glossing over that.
Put clothes on him.
We did put clothes on him, but he was turned into stone from a basilisk. Yeah. And when we were investigating the farm to find if any other basilisks were there, we came across some items and paperwork that seemed to have evidence of what happened weeks ago. And I'll pull out a map of the map that we found with some of the paperwork here and say, this is just some of the paperwork we found. We collected it all, and I organized it and categorized it into things that might be helpful with what could happen. And there's other things we can show you, but I don't think it's safe for other people and townsfolk to be nearby when we show this to you, and we want to make sure that it gets to the right hands and is turned in safely. I promise we don't commit crimes. We're good people. And also, if you let our friend go too, I don't know what they did, but I'm sorry.
Make a persuasion check.
Cool. Yeah. Oh, okay. That is going to be a 22.
22.
I'm sorry, 21. 21.
You hand them the map as well?
Yep.
Okay. So you saying all this as they're looking over the map, you see if a few of them are like gathered behind it, and they're like pointing at different things and whispering back and forth. They like pull it down like a newspaper, look back at you, pull it back up and continue looking. And after a few of them share some more words back and forth, one of them rolls up the map and hands it off to another one and says, "The three of you, come with me." And gestures in
Rockwell, the statue
The
guy?
stone dude.
Don't forget me.
the three of
Fuck
you.
me.
Please come in.
Okay, sorry,
And
that was
usher towards the interior, telling you to leave the statue.
Oh,
cool.
stay here.
Brothos, maybe
Did it again.
close.
I wouldn't just don't let that get out of sight because that will probably be
He could be used for questioning.
yeah.
All right, and he
83
has
keeps her anyway.
a few of the other guards lead you into the interior, and that is where we're going to take our break.
Break time!
Hey, things are about to get interesting.
Hey,
Yee!
guys, during our break, if you want to get yourselves entered into a raffle to win approximately 100 dice inside of a skull mag, then you could put !win in the chat. Right now, the raffle is started. If you've already done it this month, you don't have to do it again, and the drawing will be on January 30th, okay? Followers get 1 entry, and subscribers get 2. So if you're going to subscribe this month, make sure you get that subscription in first, because otherwise it still counts as 1, okay?
Hell yeah. All right, everyone, we'll be back in 10 minutes. All right?
Bye!
Bye. Oh, hey.
Hello.
And that's when I said,
Hello.
no, that's my rails that we're off of. Hey guys, welcome back.
Jesus Christ.
So anyway, we're arrested, maybe.
Yeah, you're fully arrested. No. So, before we went on break, everyone decided to go to jail because it would be so much fun. So they all confessed to a bunch of crimes.
For the fuck of it.
But first, Rhystrata confessed and was taken in. So there's a little bit of beforehand stuff we need to deal with.
Seconds before,
minutes, hours before, who knows?
I was trying
This picture taken moments before disaster.
on the way in, the reason that Barney said that shit was to get in so he could see if he could see her.
Mm-hmm. So anyways, Rhystrata.
Oh, fuck.
Hello.
As you enter the interior of this clock tower, you are immediately surprised by how seemingly hollow this entire tower is. You look up expecting to see winding gears and like turning pieces to a large clock, but instead you see what appear to be small doors to like cages or holding cells going up the wall in a spiral. And you watch as one of these guards begins to walk towards the wall, and there is a bracelet on his arm that begins to glow like a light green, and then these stones begin to jut out from the wall and create a staircase that disappears behind him as he walks up. Just like a singular section of the staircase that emerges for this one individual. And you can see that each section he passes, like, immediately comes into contact with one of these cages, which you can assume are the holding cells.
Right. Impressive.
Inside, you see multiple guards appear to be sitting at tables and enjoying small breaks, eating some food before they run out the door and go back on patrol. The individual you were speaking to, this sort of bland human, you see bits of dark black hair peeking through the bottom of his helmet, leads you to a table, and he asks you to sit.
She does.
We are going to have to contact the individual in question and ask them.
Ask them what?
No reports of assault have been issued, so we'll corroborate your
He is probably trying to kill me then.
story. Sorry.
You know. You assault someone in their own home, it gets tricky.
Watch her. And then he walks off. Into this small doorway on the opposite side from where you entered. Opens it and goes inside. And while you're waiting, your friends are led in by these three other individuals who seat you down at a table adjacent, not next to, like, you sit at two different tables. That is being watched by three people. You are all just being sort of left to sit there as the individual who rolled up the map for the people in the podcast, they're gesturing to each other.
An audio reenactment. Brothos waves. Reese salutes back. Brothos says, "No handcuffs?" Reese says, "No, I don't know." And then they both make question marks to each other.
What an accurate description. Well done.
I like how this is
Thank
question
you.
marks.
Thank you.
I like this being question marks.
Uh-huh.
It's official. You see the individual with the map you presented him walk up and hand it to someone who begins to roll it out on the table and examine it. And they have some sort of conversation with their backs to you. After a few minutes of sitting there without being interacted with at all, is there anything you guys would like to do? Or attempt to do or say while you're sitting there?
Could I hear anything of what they were saying if I try and listen in?
Make a perception check.
Yeah.
I would also like to listen.
That's a very strong and healthy 9.
9. Gun roll. Barney?
I would roll, but I know for a fact that Riss isn't listening.
Okay.
Riss and Brothos are still making hand gestures at each other. In an attempt to,
Like sign language from across them. Okay.
22.
22. You hear the two individuals talking back and forth. One of them mentioned the accuracy of the... They seem to be confused by how closely realized this is to what happened and what they've been able to piece together over the last week. The 22, you do hear them take mention of one sector that is marked but was not affected.
Here's the
You
twist.
also hear... Go for it.
We get arrested for being terrorists, and they let Rhystrata go.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Regrouping didn't even get reported.
No.
Why would you put that out there? I'm so mad at you.
Now I'll see you for sure, because Josh said so.
Now it's gonna happen.
That's why I'll do it. He'll get all the blame, and I'll get all the
sorry.
glory next week.
Sorry.
That's how I level up, is if I kill you guys.
Knew it.
But we can't. We have plot armor, right?
You also hear, as part of this exchange, they're mentioning the guard routes have appeared to also been tracked on this map, as you guys noticed before, but they're very accurately displayed, and they're starting to get very afraid of this map the longer they inspect it. While that is happening, Rhystrata, the individual you were speaking to before comes out of that room and walks back up to you and says, he does not appear to be aware of any assault that took place.
Mm.
And he sort of looks around the room awkwardly. He's like, I don't have any reason to hold you here.
Well, I did what I could. It may happen later that another thing must be reported, because he does not seem like the type to let things go, so...
Oh, okay. What other type of thing?
Well, you know, you make someone powerful angry, what do they do?
Are you saying that he's going to kill you?
He can try.
Right. Well, you're free to go.
Thank you, I will rejoin my friends.
I'm sorry?
And Rick stands up and goes over in the group.
Slide that chair over this desk.
Hello.
Hey, what did
What the
you
fuck
do?
was that?
Oh, I punched the man.
Oh, you did?
I did.
When?
I do not need as much sleep as you.
I would have done the same thing.
Did you go and find him?
Yes.
What? Where? How the fuck did you...
There is a part of the city. Oh, you know the part of the city because it has been spoken about. The piece of shit part of the city that they forced everyone out of to build their foolish, extravagant homes. He was there. It was not hard.
What the fuck?
This is perhaps not the place to talk about it.
Yeah.
Fine.
They're,
Cool.
they're looking at the map now, so I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. They keep kind of just looking at it, not talking to us, so don't know what to make of that specifically.
Did they mention the part of town that was marked but didn't get attacked?
They pointed at it. They didn't say
Okay.
the name or anything like that. but you just see them like gesturing towards the map, which you can't really see 'cause it's flat. Yeah. But you also do notice them dragging in the statue, and one of them begins to inspect it kind of closely. And at this time, you notice one of them that's examining the map stops, walks into that room where the other guard had gone, and comes out about 5 minutes later, and then approaches all of you. Says, "These claims seem to have been verified partially. So now we have to ask you all to remain here for one of our inquisitors."
Sure.
Of course.
That's what we were planning. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you need anything else from us? I mean, do we need to move if there's like other people coming in? Is there a different spot that we need to sit at? What do you need from us?
I mean, we can take your statements.
Sure. How does that work?
You just tell me what happened and I'll write it down.
Oh, okay. I thought it would have been okay. Never mind. Thought it'd be cooler. Yeah. So we found the papers, and
you'll go over with him over the.
Bored. I'm gonna.
We all give our statement.
Sadly, because I was thinking it was gonna be something more exciting.
Okay. Again, over the next 15 minutes, you all recount exactly what happened, and shortly after that, this individual in these very elegant robes enters one of those archways. Tiefling individual. These long curled forward horns, very ornate and not ornate, intimidating, for lack of a better word. They're sort of exaggerated and point straight up and kind of like meet like this, like a steeple. Gray skin, just sort of wanders over in your direction, talks to the guards. "Are these the individuals who found the map mentioned?" And he'll say, "Yes, Inquisitor, this is the group that brought forth the information and evidence." And he just gestures with his hand, and without saying another word, the guard walks away. And he will stand before you all and say, "You are the ones who found this map, correct?"
Yes.
"Where did you find this?" And I need you all to make a wisdom saving throw.
I know what this bitch is doing.
Hey,
Charming enough?
He's not a bitch. He's cool.
Yeah, it isn't a charm, is it?
Isn't a charm?
I don't believe so.
I don't think
It is.
the
I just
spell
don't
that
have
I think you're casting is a charm.
Yeah.
But
I want to be honest, though. You can also choose to fail it if you wish.
if it's
It's not a charm.
what?
It's not a charm.
Oh, okay. I think I know what's
It's
happening.
it's that ding dang
Oh,
truth
sorry.
spell, right?
Zone of
It's a
truth,
charisma.
yeah.
It's a
A
Zone
charisma.
of truth.
ding truth spell.
It's a
That's what it's
charisma
called.
save, not a wisdom save.
Charisma save.
Yes, give me your charming ways.
It's a 13 for me, but I'm gonna go ahead and say that Reese voluntarily fails it, even if it wasn't enough for the.
Yeah, I rolled an 11, but yeah.
Okay. Josh?
It's a 13 for Brothos. He doesn't know what's happening, so he doesn't choose to fail it, but if that's a failure, he will fail.
Okay.
Wait, so
Ding
did
ding.
you say it was a wisdom saving throw or
It's a
charisma saving throw?
save. Sorry, I misremembered.
21, and I'm if I can avoid it, I'm not going to fail. If I can succeed, I would like to
You
succeed.
can't succeed, you're going to succeed.
Yes.
Okay. You succeed. And you're the only one.
That ding dang truth spell.
As he says this phrase, this "where did you find it?" his eyes scan each of you and end on Barney, saying, "Interesting." He just sort of stares.
Well, we found it over at the Sweetberry Farms. We were doing a mission from the Conclave, or whatever they're called.
Scar assembly.
Scar assembly, that one.
What you are doing is not necessary. We have nothing to hide. But
Is he doing something?
Forgive me, but I don't trust you.
That's
Well,
You
pretty
found it
fair.
at the farm.
Yes.
Walk me through this. How was the farm when you found it?
Okay, so we got to the farm. I think it was maybe like 60 degrees outside. It wasn't too cold, but it wasn't too hot. It was a pretty long walk too. Normally the farm.
Yona,
Yes. He said to walk him through it. I just wanted to. Okay.
simply what is necessary.
Got to the farm. It looks like it had been abandoned for a while, and there were 2 statues, one of which is outside. The other one's broken. And then we found this map and its contents in the shed of the farm.
The people were stones because of basilisks.
That too. Forgot that.
Also, there is a giant hole that leads deep, deep under the city.
People. This one, and he points towards the statue.
Yes.
As well as a woman, also a dwarf.
But she was
Who's
broken.
broken in half.
Does she remain at the farm?
Yes. What
Yes,
does remain?
right, we left her there, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And he turns his attention from you to the guards standing around. Just you notice at this point they're all just sort of like standing, giving this guy a lot of space and just side staring at the conversation.
Out of
And he
power.
points
Sad.
toward one of them and he says, "You take the dwarf to the cells, find the wife." Turns his attention back to you. Please continue.
I have a quick question for you, if that's okay. I don't know if this is a two-way street. But what's your name?
He narrows his eyes at you. I'll allow it.
I hate that.
My name is Zahir.
Zahir.
Yes.
Powerful name for a powerful person, yes?
Continue with your story.
So we looked at the contents of the paperwork that was there. We found the map. We found the tunnel that was there as well. And then we went in the tunnel for a while, thinking it was made by dwarves. But as we got further and further, it ended up going below where the sewer system would be, because we were thinking that might be like a linking connection. But turns out it goes a lot deeper and might not have been made by dwarves. So I think it leads to the Underdark. Actually, no, possibly lower. So not good.
We also found the rock.
You don't need to speak, thank you. He turns his attention back towards Yona.
Tell about the rock.
Please continue.
So we got down to the bottom. Well, didn't get to the bottom of the hole, but I sent one of my owls. His name's Mister. It's pretty cool. But further down, about a mile out, after we'd walked for about 2 hours, but didn't get to see what was there at the end of it. So I don't know if you guys want to send people to go further. It might not be safe. And then we also did have a this paper, and I'll pull out the. Wasn't there a paper in the box with the rock, or was it next to it? There was a letter with it. Okay, and there was also this letter that had an object with it that I want to make sure you read it first and understand what its contents may be before we open it, because of everyone's safety.
You hand him the letter?
Yeah, I'll hand him the letter.
Okay. You see his eyes quickly scan the letter. Interesting. The box.
Barney, the box.
He takes it. And he slowly opens it, and those, again, whispering choruses begin to fill the air. Like that.
It's amazing.
Growl. And he'll just look at it for a second.
So many voices.
You actually begin to notice that all of the guards in the rest of the room are completely unnerved by what's happening. And he just, without doing anything, without any magic, just picks it up.
I think when I was looking at that too, and one of the things I was led to believe was that you probably shouldn't touch it. Maybe don't touch it. Are you okay? Do you feel different? Do you need to throw up?
I feel fine.
Okay. Maybe don't continue to touch it. Doesn't seem safe.
Just around it very quickly.
I'm still touching it.
Puts it back in. Closes it with one hand. Is there anything else you wish to tell us?
How about the house?
The what?
That there was a disguise kit inside?
Oh, yes. There was under their bed.
I see. All right. If that is all.
I am under the truth spell. I did punch the man.
I don't know what she's talking about.
He turns to look at you. Says, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Where do you live?
So.
Good try. Good try.
I love this man.
You say you wandered across this farm on the
On purpose.
job of a guild, found these individuals dead, killed the basilisks that killed them, ransacked through their possessions,
Debatable.
You just confessed as much. Found a tunnel beneath one of their buildings, followed it for a bit, and then returned here.
When you say ransacked, we were looking for more basilisks. So,
Right.
guys, I don't think he believes me. This is
There were also, like, lots of collapsed tunnels leading to the main tunnel as well that we walked down. Like, it went lots of directions, but all of the ones were closed except for the one that we found.
All right. Thank you very much. You are free to go. And he stands up from the chair he was sitting in and begins to walk out of the building. As he does, he gets to where the guards are all standing in a circle around the interior of the building.
Mm-hmm.
He gets to the edge where a few of them have clustered and said, search the farm, secure the tunnel, make sure no one goes to that farm again. If you find anything, come find me. And then he leaves the building.
I do not trust that man.
Yeah, he kept giving eyes to Barney. What was that about?
Did you pass the spell, Barney?
Yeah.
That is fine.
There was a spell?
Oh, brother. Yes.
Okay.
We are still under it. So technically, if I should ask you anything, you would either have to be silent or tell the truth.
Hey, okay. Cool.
Brothos, what is the most embarrassing thing that has ever happened to you?
Pretty much every day of my life.
Oh,
Ouch.
honest answer.
Fuck.
What about you? What is the most embarrassing thing that ever happened to you? Wait, no! Better question! Why did you hit the man?
That is not something that I will lie to you about. I simply do not wish to talk about it in here.
But it is perfect time.
Surrounded
They're all
by guards.
avoiding us. Hey, can I get my clothes back?
As you look around to the guards in this, like, just different clusters of guards, they all look like they're taking a sigh of relief, but also very unsettled at this figure.
Barney sighs, just kind of like heaves a breath, slaps his hand down on the table, pushes the bench back with a screech of wood on stone and is just like, yeah, maybe we should get out of here.
Before we leave, Reese is gonna go up to one of the guards and say, "That man, you are afraid of him."
Yes. Well,
Why?
afraid is strong. He is intimidating.
He is powerful.
He has a presence. He is the warden of Tentail Prison.
Ah,
He is known as the Iron Warden.
does not sound like a pleasant name.
It's not a pleasant place.
But
You
job.
seem to catch him on a good day.
Bastard.
And intense.
This is a watered down word for the same thing. Thank you.
Hear halfling on the other side of the room say, "Bastard."
Thank you. You and I, we should get a drink.
Before we leave the zone of truth, Reese, can I ask you a question? Since we're here, it's not that I don't trust you or anything, but I'm just testing to see how this spell works for research purposes. Do you know how to
You
get
can
back?
walk and talk.
Okay, sure. Do you know how to get back to the Feywild?
Let us go. And Reese walks out.
Okay. So, no move is made to stop you. You all exit the guard station. And where would you like to go? By the way, should mention, they keep the stone, they keep the map, they keep the statue. Any documents or anything you put forth, they would have taken.
Okay. I'm trying to think of what other documents there were. There was the letter, that was with the box,
Yes.
the map, and I think there were just others. The other stuff was just like ramblings on. Like,
It was basically just like working out plans.
okay, all right, that's fine. I can hold on to that. That's
Yeah, where do we want to go, y'all? Day's ours.
Should we go back to maybe find more jobs if we don't need to do anything here? Or I do need to. I had mentioned something before that we kind of skipped over a bit during brunch, and we haven't really had a moment to breathe or think about it. But I do want to run past you guys just to hear your thoughts on if we have a moment. So either back at Remy's or if we go to Mal's, wherever. We just need a moment so I can catch you guys up on what I got going on, because things have changed in my book.
Of course.
I feel like maybe there are a couple of us who need to catch each other up, huh? Maybe that
Should
is
we-
best.
Is that said with a pointed look at Rhystrata?
I look at all like Barney fuming, and Rhystrata and Yona. I'm like, maybe, we go. Yeah.
Get a drink? Talk? Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you'll head over to Mal's?
I think so.
Alrighty.
Corner booth.
Oh, good idea.
Alright. I mean, you guys are there often enough. You can fully have your run of the place.
Sweet. Get up, you're at our table.
Hey!
How are
What
you
you guys
today?
Hey, you guys, I missed you yesterday.
I know. We were not in town.
Well, you know,
Yes.
if you want to,
Okay.
you're like the entire place is open. It's the middle of the day.
Fantastic. If you see a short halfling guard come in here, send them my way.
Okay. Without even asking. You guys want food, drinks? Just start sending stuff over?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure. Alright.
Oh,
You
that was
guys
the best.
have pretty good amounts of privacy.
Okay, who goes first? I feel like there's a lot.
You seemed very eager to tell us things.
Less eager, more anxious, but it can go in any order. Brothos,
Hey,
Barney.
I don't have much to share. I am Brothos the Bold.
Hi, Brothos.
Hello. I am maybe... Oh, okay. Maybe there is things I didn't tell you, but not because of secrets, but because I forgot.
Okay.
The Church of the Ember Flame. The head,
We will never get the
Ever
name
burning
right.
flame.
I don't know if
Ever-burning
it's Brothos or Josh.
I'll let it-
Ever
the Church of the Ever Blaming Flame.
blaming.
Your
Dude.
fault.
Jesus Christ.
This burnt building is your fault.
Passes out every time he tries to say it.
Ever
Leave a
blaming.
candle exposed to the elements, asshole.
Not my fault.
So I go there to work out in the morning sometimes, to keep myself fit. And one time I was talking to the head priest, Yazriel, who's, the hand of the Great Forge. He's very, very important figure in worshippers of my god. Anyway, he says, this is funny story. He says maybe that I am the manifest emotions of my god.
Oh,
Is that what you meant by bearer?
Yes, that is what they call it. So,
Terrifying.
that's my turn. Who's next?
The look on Barney's face. Okay.
is the table open to follow-up questions?
Sure.
How did they tell you how you were the embodiment of emotions?
I was hoping you could tell me.
Cool. I don't know if I know much on religion of fire giants, but I can think on it.
Is very important god all across his church here. But she is giant. Was giant, now she is god.
I guess I can make a history. Can I make a history check to?
Or
I don't know whatever Brothos is trying to have me look up or think of.
make
He's
a
not
religion check.
Okay,
Mm.
Regligan. Ooh, I'm bad at that.
Rugluglin.
Maybe not so bad. 19.
19. Okay. You've read about bearers, very powerful channelers of divine power. You don't exactly know how it happens, though most of the writings are that it's something you inherited at birth. It's not something one can attain through hard work or, something like that. You can't attain it one day. You just usually have it or you don't.
Mm.
Yes,
Is this something to say congratulations for? Or is it like, I'm so sorry?
I think it is a huge honor, but I don't know if it is one I am deserving of. Breska seems to think so when I talk to her, commune with her.
The way you speak about your god, you seem like a loyal follower. Is there anything else that is required?
To follow Breska? Deeds through actions, passion, belief. But everybody can do that, huh?
No. You are good at those things, Brothos.
I am.
Yes.
Yeah.
Huh. And for once in a blue moon, he looks contemplative and goes kind of quiet.
He do
Okay.
I think.
Brothos goes quiet.
Okay. Reese takes a drink and says, let's see. The night before we went to find the basilisks, I went to the rich district. I found the lamb. I punched him and he passed out, so I brought him up and then I punched him again. And then I ran and I burned some shit in his yard. And then I ran further. So. I did not want to get caught that night because I wanted people to know that I had beat the shit out of him, but it seems that he is keeping it quiet, which frustrating, honestly.
Do you not trust this Rhystrata?
Strange question.
Well, I mean, we punched ghosts together.
We have punched more than ghosts together.
Why not
Although
ask-
less punch, more slash.
Why not ask us or tell us?
Yeah, what if something would have happened and we couldn't find you in the morning?
I mean, she
Arnice
did.
seemed uninterested.
She
in
said,
pursuing?
yeah, she said, let's go punch him. And we said no. Because it would draw attention to the group.
This is true. And a fair point, Barney, but if you were that set on doing it...
I believe you. What is your true question? Of course I trust you, but clearly you did not want to come.
I don't know. There is an element to that, eh? The not letting us know where we're going.
What did you say?
He says, I don't know. He's not that smart. You do not at least tell us you were going, huh? We're not going to stop you from doing it either. You're your own person.
I couldn't stop you physically,
This
even if I
point,
wanted to.
I don't think I could.
You probably could, Brothos. You are strong.
But you are smarter than me. And more charming. I probably would have ended up with you. But either way. You know what I mean, huh? I do not say these things good, but... Okay, we said no, but...
You want the bigger why.
Yes. This is better question than mine.
And Reese just downs her entire pint and leans forward on her elbow and says, "It is not something that is easy to explain. It is probably something that is very foolish. I have been to many towns. I have been many places. I am not stupid in the ways that worlds go, in the way that people are. I know that the rich trample on the weak, that the powerful take advantage. I have seen this in more than one place. But here was the place that it was not that way. And we built it to not be that way. And we did terrible things, and they told us that those terrible things were so that this city would not be that way, and then I come back and it is no different than any place. So I was angry. That is why.
That is fair.
I am not proud of what I did. That is why I turned myself in. But it was the one thing I could control, yes?
Well, next time we
Yuna,
see... Yes. Oh,
you are next.
okay. So, as you guys know, I have a book, and I sometimes can be found talking with it. This is a friend of mine that I found in the library at my institute where I came from. I don't know if you'll be able to see what they put in the book. Well, this page stays there, and I flipped to the one where it's me fighting the Chimera, and that stays there just for people to see. But we normally talk through the pages of the book, and they've kind of helped me get to where I am here and meeting you all. I know them really only by their name that they gave me, which is LaRue, but they told me that they're being chased by someone, and that someone might be from the Feywild and did some things in the Feywild. That's why I was curious as to know if like, you know how to get back there, maybe just in terms of a long-term type of goal. But it's a lot, so I'm going to be giving you guys a lot of information, but it's, again, only because I trust you and hope that you're able to help me, because I don't know what I'm doing out here. It's only been less than a month, and I think I'm way over my head. So I really, really could use some friends here to help me with this, if you're able to.
Yeah, of course.
I am here.
Okay, and then I'll open the book. I'll be like, hey, I don't know if they can see this, if you don't want them to or not, but you could introduce yourself if you need to. Otherwise, I can explain. Let me know. And I'll hold the book open to see if any words will come up that they could see.
Okay. You all see Yona turn this blank book to you, and it sits there for about 15 seconds before the word, very small up in the top corner, says, "Hi."
Ah!
What did it say?
It said hello.
Okay, maybe I should just I'll talk for you. That's probably better.
Please.
Okay.
please.
Oh, it is shy.
Yeah. So back when I was at the Institute, I worked in the library. As you know, that's what I do most. And when taking inventory, I had found this book, but it wasn't in our catalog anywhere, and the pages were blank. So I was going to throw it away until I started seeing words pop up that it seemed like no one else could really tell, or I didn't show anybody else to ask them, but it was like the book was writing itself and was like answering things that I was saying out loud and replying to them, which was very weird, but it was nice to have a friend on the later shifts of being in the library, where it can be very, I'll admit, boring at some times once you've read everything that's there. But we became very close friends, and they encouraged me to go out and travel and not stay indoors all day. And that's where I met you all a week or so after that started happening. But just after we slayed the Chimera, they told me they're being chased by someone. There was a break-in at the Institute whenever we first got to town here, and I guess they were trying to look for the book. But Reese, does the name the Satyr King ring any bells or sound familiar to you?
No.
No. Sorry.
Okay. You're good.
It does not.
Okay. Well, that's somebody who I'm assuming is chasing her. But they are, I guess, a really bad person that did a lot of bad things in the Feywild. I think they had destroyed some cities and towns and hurt a lot of people. I don't know what they want to do with her, but obviously it's pretty important to me to make sure that I can keep my friend that I've made here. But they, I guess, are after something, and I don't want them to succeed in getting what they're after and possibly capturing my book and my friend if we could stop it. So that's why I'd asked you if you were familiar with the the city of Kalendor. And I asked Mal, and they said it was a ways down south, but I don't know how to get there. The closest thing I can think of would be walking, but that would take way too long. And that's only one of the 3 places I need to go to. I don't even know where to start for the other things that I need to find. But I really want to make sure I can protect my friend, and that's pretty much all I know. Aside from the paper stuff, that's new. But she gives me that power to do that. Otherwise, most I do is I could give you a real paper cut, but that maybe hurts more or less. I don't know. I'm rambling at this point. But I'm just scared. I don't know what this means, but I just need help.
We will help you, Yuna. How long ago did all of this start happening? Did it tell you?
With the Satyr King thing is pretty new for what I've been told, but it seems like it's been happening for a while. He used to go by a different name. I think it was the looking at the book, Prince of Fools.
You can make a roll on that.
Yikes!
And I
What kind of
roll?
You can roll history with advantage.
Okay.
If you'd like to roll slow, you can. Just regular.
There's no way I have any idea.
You can try.
I'll try!
I'll work it in somehow.
Natural 20 on the second one. I got a 4 on the first, but I got a natural 20 on the second.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay.
So stressful. So stressful.
So, the Prince of Fools, Hirsam, you would know their actual name. Where you come from, stories are told of the Prince of Fools and almost used as like a lesson to teach young Eladrin right from wrong. You know, pranks are no good, trickery only leads to unfortunate circumstances for yourself. But Hirsam, the Prince of Fools, was a satyr who was believed to be the son of Titania and Oberon. 2 deific archfey in the Feywild. Hirsam is said to have been very powerful, but squandered it on causing pranks and just mischief around. The last you heard of him was probably time in the Feywild's very hard, but a long time before you were born. It was said that he was, punished for trying to set 2 courts, the Unseelie and Seelie, into conflict with one another. And for that, his parents punished him, and he was not seen from for a very long time. In fact, until the point you had left, no one had seen him. Mm-hmm.
The prince is long gone.
Well, that's what I had apparently been taught from what I've been able to look up, but he's trying to come back under the name of the Satyr King and start instill a war between the courts. But I think what he was after were pieces of a weapon, I think. Am I getting that right? Looking at the book and talking to it.
It wasn't described specifically as a weapon. It's what your patron was hoping to find here. But what they were able to find was what was described.
And it was something created by his parents, but it was broken into 3 parts. One of those parts being the first thing I'm trying to look for, which is in Kalendor, hopefully, or the ruins of there. But it was the blessing of the warrior, the gift of the fairy queen, and then unity. So if any of that rings a bell for anybody, that would be helpful. But otherwise, I am zeroed out for the information, which kind of upsets me because that's kind of my whole thing. But that's all I have, and I don't want to fail. This is a lot.
You will not fail first. You know that he was punished, yes?
She did tell me that, yeah.
Okay.
We will punish him again.
Yeah. He's an archfey. I don't know, that seems like close to god level of like a title to get. So that just seems a bit intimidating to go along with. Have you guys fought archfey? I'm assuming no.
Not yet.
Haha, yeah. So that's a thing. But yeah, that's if we
Kalendor
can.
next then?
Hopefully, I don't know any quicker way to get there unless we fly. But I think the only flying ship I've come close to seeing is more of a regular ship at this point. Sorry, Barney. That's all I got. But I can't thank you guys enough for letting me trust you with this, but I don't want anybody to know about this if it's possible, aside from just the important ones, which are now you guys. So.
Well, it has been a long time, but perhaps I know how to get into the Feywild.
Well, I don't think we need to do it right away, so you can
Of course.
still keep that locked up for now, but I appreciate you answering that question.
It's not something I would love to do, but you say it is important.
I hope it is.
Barney.
Mm.
You've been really quiet.
Yeah. So, I guess my stuff. You all already know that I'm trying to get back to the hideout. There is more. So, I took a look through my captain's journal and found some entries that were interesting. From a person named Sedwin, who was apparently sending her messages asking for a meeting. And I think that she got the box from him. Him. Yeah. He's apparently, well, she met him in Garendale. That was the last place we were before we crashed. And so we wanted to figure out what that weird ass box was. Might be a good place to go. And then the last thing is the Argonius Conclave. I don't know how to find them. All Mavroot told me was that they were just around outside of the city in groves and shit. I have no idea where to look, but I lost my mentor in the crash, and I think that if she was still alive, and we don't find her at the hideout, then she might be with the Conclave, because apparently she was a part of it. So, not to say that she is alive, because, yeah, but I'm sure we can fit that stuff in there somewhere.
It is hard to hope for things sometimes, but we will see.
Barney.
Okay, it seems that we have our way forward. Closest is the hideout, yes?
Did you say we had to go to your school? Do we have to go to your school? Yona?
No.
Oh, okay.
honestly, I'd probably want to stay away from it since it was broken into recently. But I mean, we could go back, but don't really have to. I'd probably.
Oh, I thought your book wanted you to investigate it.
No, I think she knows what happened. There, for the most part, that was with the whole Archfey King guy.
Okay. Got it.
But I probably do want to look into the pieces of that item that his parents made, which is Kalendor.
Sean, where is Kalendor?
Kalendor is on the southern tip of the continent. It's about
is it off the map for us?
Yes, it is about as far away geographically as a point could be.
Shit.
It, from your various researches, it sits beneath one of the two sky cities that float above the continent, Merinon.
Cool.
So maybe this is me assuming a lot of things, but if we were to possibly get back with your crew and find a way to maybe get a new ship or rebuild the one that was broken, could that get us there possibly? Is your ship close to any form of possibly being repaired?
I mean, you saw it. It's destroyed. Getting the resources out there that we would need in order to fix it would be nigh impossible, and we don't exactly want to be bringing people to that area because we're trying to protect the folks who are living there already. But yeah, so, I mean, if we need it, airships aren't exactly common, most of them belong to the kingdom. So, if we found one that was a civilian ship, I could probably get us a ride on it. Because that's a part of my background. But we can ask. I'm sure
We
it
also
wouldn't
could.
hurt to ask.
There are probably more airships in the sky cities. Yes.
Yes.
So.
Are there any closer sky
Probably
cities?
some in Salimveth. Yes.
Absolutely, but I'm not going to ride somebody else's airship to my crew's hideout.
No, I do not mean that.
It's a Kalendor.
Well, in that case, it probably would be faster to kind of swing around out to the west, come down to the hideout, go around to Garendale, and then find our way.
God,
Yes, probably.
So cool.
You look at a
Yes,
map for long
Brothos?
enough, it just...
You just have all these big fancy stories. You are book hero fighting fey monsters, and you are war hero who saves man, and you are smuggler who's looking for smuggler who is looking for
Brothos!
Sorry.
Mel drops off a plate of food and says, "Who the fuck am I gonna tell?" And then walks away.
I like
We are the only people here.
you guys are just so cool. It's like traveling around with heroes from a story.
Well, hey, you still have your story to tell, so there's
You are much more honorable than me, Brothos.
glory for all of us to seek.
I kind of
So-
wanna take. I want to take a look around the city to see if I can find anybody else who might know something about the Argonius Conclave or where the fuck to find
I
them.
might know someone. I don't know. It's just that if he is alive, he's been around for a very fucking long time, and so we probably would know something. The issue is finding him.
Okay. Do you know where he might be?
Either the military district or the palace.
Great. I love both those places.
Yes, I as well.
That is good. Then it'll be easy.
Oh, we could probably go talk to Dundad. Maybe he knows something.
Yeah, there could be
Are
a mission or something in the palace that we have to
Or I
sign
could just
up for.
ask him if he has heard of this person.
True.
I wonder if O'Fane knows anything about them.
We could go ask.
He's magic as fuck. Probably knows something.
This is
Yeah.
this is akin to religion.
No. From what I've heard, like, some people can practice it as a sort of religious, spiritual thing, but it doesn't have to be a religious, spiritual thing.
Okay.
But yeah. Anyway, I'm just gonna go.
So what if
What
we
is our plan?
I'm gonna
do
go talk to Wolf.
this?
Okay.
We could maybe split up, and you and Rhystrata can go talk to O'Fane, and Brothos and I can go to the forge where he frequents to see if they might have any information that could help us, either with finding someone who could help or learn more about my situation, or anything else we might need to ask from them specifically, and then meet back at the Scarred Assembly.
Of course. Brothos, your church
Yes.
is one of dwarves, yes?
No.
No?
Everybody.
Everybody.
Yes. Mostly giants. Craftsmen, warriors, that sort. That's correct, right, Sean?
From your perspective, yes.
Good.
It is now.
Perfect. As far as Brothos knows.
You should probably ask after the name. It is possible he has been there.
What is the name?
Domrek?
Domrek. Domrec?
R-A-E-C.
Dome rack.
Domrek.
Pronounced Doom Rake.
Domrek.
Hey, not me giving Sean pronunciations of every NPC in my backstory.
I need them. I'm so bad at reading.
Matt, you said okay, guys, this is either going to succeed wonderfully or fall completely flat. Matt, you said that your book was named LaRue?
I mean, yeah, that's her name.
Is she bulletproof? Anyone? LaRue,
Yeah,
bulletproof!
it's a song. It's a song and we're moving past it.
Ooh.
Go
appreciate
away!
I was just
More
about to give
More jokes
I was
like this from
having
Sloan.
away
More.
from giving this whole party a huge compliment because I didn't say anything for like the last half hour and it was fucking beautiful and I loved it.
And
then
then
Sorry.
what
Ruined
happens?
it!
More,
I ruined
more
everything.
jokes like this from Sloan. I stand
I've
them.
been holding on.
God,
I've been
baby.
holding on to that for the last half.
Let's
I love it.
let's go.
I thought you were gonna be like, oh, you know that thing? What this thing is? Let me roll
No.
a check. Instead, the pun, which I'm here for. It didn't land with me.
Thank you for your pity. Thank you for your pity. I
No.
accept it.
More.
Hey, I'm all out
She
this week.
she
I'm all
does
out.
also give you the last name, Brothos, which is Bright Brand.
Holy shit. Right, Brand.
Hmm.
Wait, what does this Domrek look like?
He is a dwarfen man.
Short.
I would give you description, but it has been a long time, so it probably would not hold up. You know dwarves.
He is dwarf.
Yeah,
I know
they're
of
all
them,
tiny.
yes.
They oh god, hold it together. They live long, but
I've heard.
it is surprising that he is alive, is what I will say.
Oh, how long do dwarves live?
Hey Sean, how long do they live in this world?
They definitely live longer than in the book. I will say that. Not too much longer, but a little bit.
Right.
They've known to live probably about 50, 60 years past that cutoff date.
Okay.
Not that it really matters to me because I'm a giant, but I just
Giants live much less
Yeah.
life.
He would be
just
high
really curious for, you know.
high in his 300s, maybe Or
Only 300 years?
is old.
Okay.
Old. Let's see, because dwarves in the book live to be like what?
Let me find out exactly.
Yeah, give me that sweet age range.
It says they live. Okay, yeah, it's way longer because on average they live 350 years. That's too low for dwarves.
Yeah.
Longer.
So mine are at least 500, maybe longer.
That's a good.
Okay.
That's a good.
So he would be older than me, probably, maybe a little younger.
With some centers. Okay.
Old.
500-year-old dwarf.
Maybe not. Might be 390. I never asked his age. It is not a question you really ask.
I will ask when I find him.
Well. All right, you go to the forge. We go to offense.
Okay.
Offense for the third time today. Sorry, dude.
He's having a hot day. You guys came in, spent like 30 gold, and then almost cursed his house.
Curse him for being it's one of those competent NPC problems, right? He's establishing those things.
Yeah, he's fine. He's a smart guy.
He is.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's start with Ophanes because it's closer. No, it's not.
Wickety walk.
Church is the other place you're going. He is pretty equidistant. So you enter the familiar building. You see, still with like a bottle of varnish, is trying to still get that buff out. You can't see it, but he's just still working in that area. It's just like
Poor man.
Do you need help with that?
Oh, hello.
Hi, we're back.
I see that.
It is us.
How
Had
did everything go?
about as well as it could have, I think.
We were not arrested. They believed us, which
Yes.
was easy because they made us tell the truth.
This is good news. How may I be of assistance to you at this moment in time?
Wanted to ask you something. So do you know anything about the Argonius Conclave?
Let me see.
Oh boy.
Search.
I'm going to roll for it.
Also, how is this person like a very high level wizard and doesn't have prestidigitation? Like,
Who said he's a wizard?
oh, that's fair. Sorry.
I told you he was an artificer, actually, didn't I?
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, Luther
Well,
told
don't
you
pay
that.
attention to me.
You're fine.
I have holes in my brain.
He says, the Argonius. Yes. Builders of this fine city. Mountain range you see around them is completely their doing.
Mhm.
What do you wish to know about them?
Kind of trying to figure out where I can find them.
Well, last time I checked, most of them got fed up with what their creations had sort of wrought.
What?
I'm sorry? They didn't completely appreciate what had happened here. They re-emerged for the rebuilding of Abaddon.
Yes.
Slightly after the war, they came back and thought it'd be a fresh new start, and then things went not their liking. So, from what I understand, most of them ventured out into the world, set up somewhere else. I believe there may still be one or two in a grove just west of the city. But I have never been there to check myself. It's only hearsay.
You know who they are, or?
I'm afraid not.
You know the location of the grove?
Yes, I do. And he'll point on
Mark
your
our map, Magic Man.
I'll do it for free. It's this one.
Oh, hang
It's
on.
this one.
I'm not in the map. Oh, very nice.
Hold
Oh,
on.
What a
God.
grove.
I was like, why can't I see the mark he's making? It was because I was on the
What a
bigger one.
grove.
Whoa, look at it radiating all that
There
power.
it is.
Fun. Oh.
Drew.
Druids.
Druid.
This is payback.
Darude.
Revenge is mine!
Tomorrow, I'll kill me.
Oh no, delete it. Shh, it never happened.
Yeah, but that is the one he points out. He's like, I believe the last ones that were around this area sort of retained themselves to that grove.
This was extremely helpful. Thank you.
You know how to like find them? Like, do I just walk in and say, "Hey"?
I mean, it's worth a look around. I've never been there to check for myself again. So, I hope that helps.
It very much did. Thank you.
Well, good.
It very much did.
Anything else I can do for you? Any ways you'd like to buy? Any identifying needs come up in the last 3 hours?
How much was that ring again?
You'll have to be more specific.
The drunkard one.
Oh, I believe that was 400.
Hang on.
Ba-dum-bum.
Let me
Yeah,
double
Reese,
check.
spend that
Damn
money.
I'm 6 off.
Money.
We have
$600 off?
We have $600. We have 601 gold in the party fund. Do you want to use some?
Could I just have 100?
Yeah.
Okay. I would like to buy the ring.
The
The
An
drunken ring. The
It's an
drunken amulet. I'm sorry, I'm drunk right now.
You're fine. We'll find a good home. He will procure it for you for the 400 gold.
Mhm.
I do believe
She
it's a 10.
hawks over 300 and Barney chokes up the last
You
100.
hawk over 400.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
Barney gives the last 100 because I
Okay,
don't have
thank
it.
you. He'll take that, scoop it up.
You don't happen to know if there are any like druids in town? I know this is a long shot, but I figured I'd ask.
None that I've met personally. Some passing through, but I don't believe they stay around much.
Well, thank you.
No worries. Safe travels. Hope that Nicholas serves you well.
Yes. She puts it on.
Okay. Now we will swing
Add
over
item.
the church.
Oh,
Correct?
Yona, you are going to love this place. It is very hot and very loud.
Oh, what did I say? Cool.
Follow me.
Okay.
As you enter these large open doors, for the first time, Yona, you see the interior of this church. It is a very elegant display of blacksmithing, actually. There are these long, like anvil-shaped tables that take up a portion of the room on either side. Multiples of them, probably about 6 or 7 on either side. There are these large wall-sized, like fireplace furnaces that you just see one or two people like poking their iron in. You see some hammering away. It is later in the day, so a lot of these stationed are currently housing work.
Brothos
and again-
just goes,
As he crosses the threshold.
There's definitely a scent here.
"Oh, you have to do this.
Smells like sweat.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Okay.
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 And you,
I'm just gonna not breathe.
Brothos, you also from across the way see the familiar image of Yazrael.
Ah, there is our friend. Come. You will like Yazriel.
Okay.
He's very boring. Let's go. Here we go.
I don't know. What does that mean for me? Okay.
Kind
I'll
of
follow.
approach. Is Yazriel in the middle of anything, or does he seem available?
He's just like slowly walking around, making sure all the other workers have everything they need.
Yazriel,
Hello,
it is good to see you.
Bearer. It is always a pleasure to see you as well.
Ah, yes, and you. What is the title? Leader of. Nope.
His brother's struggling to decide to say his
The hand
name.
of the Great Forge.
Yes,
Yes.
thank you.
It's good.
What can we owe the pleasure of seeing you today?
Well, this is my friend Yona.
Hello.
Hello.
killer of chimeras. And we are here to ask you questions about people and things around the city, because you seemed so smart and knowledgeable when I had questions last time.
I see. I don't know what gave you that impression, but I'm happy to help where I can.
Well, hold on. Twitch is being a little funny.
It is, I see.
I refreshed and mine is back in business.
It's
so.
doing that thing where it just drops for no reason.
Nice. Fun times.
I'm getting fine readings now as well from the thing.
Never mind. Mine is. Oh no, he's back. Yeah,
Oh,
I think refreshing it works.
Okay.
Boblin.
Looks good to me. Let's keep going.
Okay.
So we are looking for two things. One is a person and one is like a group.
Okay. Let's take the person.
The person is called Doomrack Brightbrand, and he is a dwarf.
Okay. Let me just see what his modifier is. Okay. I believe I've heard that name. Retired general or something.
Yes, he fought in like wars a long time ago.
Yes. What about him?
We are trying to find him.
I believe he owns a small home in the Champions Row district where the retired military live. Property given to them for their service.
Veteran home.
Do you think Reese has one?
Oh, then we don't have to pay for an inn anymore. No, Reese would tell us.
Yeah. We'll refresh her memory. She might have forgotten if that's the case.
Speaking of people like Doomrick, have you ever heard of Rhystrata Samiris?
I rolled a natural 20.
Is that the lady who punched that dude?
No!
All of your secrets.
Twitch is still having problems, by the way, y'all.
Just
let you know.
It's working fine.
Shit! Mine buffers.
Apparently,
then
it's
plays.
buffering but not skipping conversation, so people are still seeing what's happening. It's just a lag.
Okay, so that's
Sorry,
good.
guys.
At least we can keep that.
Yeah, it's going real wonky, but then it does that thing where it elastics out and then it stretches back
Yeah.
immediately.
Oh,
Which
that's
sucks.
unfortunate.
And everything's clear from my end, too.
So the recording should be fine.
Cool.
Unfortunately, if you catch it on the VOD, it should be fine. We're very
I think
sorry.
right now
about the
it's
technical
talking about.
difficulties.
Yeah.
We can't control what Twitch does, unfortunately. But he rolls a natural 20.
Know about Rhystrata. Oh.
He says, yes. Name's ring very old bell. Let me see. Excuse me for a second. And he walks off and leaves you guys in the hall for a moment or two.
Do you want to try smithing?
Sure. Yeah.
When we're done,
But,
me and you will make something together.
Okay. I'll take it with pride.
Good man. Thank you.
Okay. A moment later, he comes back with a large tome, sort of flipping through, and he looks through the book. Yes. The name is in a remembrance for the war. Those who fought. The first name you said, Doomrick,
Yes.
was this individual's commander.
Oh.
Name sounded familiar, so closes the book.
Okay. Soldiers.
Yes.
This we knew.
Now you said in remembrance. Does it say that they died, or just for like
It
logging?
was remembering those who fought for the city, whether they fell or not.
Ah, okay. And it says they didn't fall, right?
He opens the book back up, flips through all the pages. I don't believe either of them perished, no.
Okay, just making sure we weren't friends with a ghost.
That would be cool, but also sad.
Okay.
So,
Question two.
Closes the big book.
Do you know anything about the Argonian Conclave? Did I say that right?
You did not.
I'm asking Yona.
wait, what was your question? I'm sorry?
The Argonian Conclave. Brothos says, do I know that? Did I say that right?
It's
So proud.
I think it's Argonis is what I had written down.
Argonius.
Argonius. We're right. We're on the money. I
what
did have
I said.
Argonius in my second notes.
That's what
Argonius.
He knows well enough to correct what you're saying.
Good man.
So I've heard of them in passing, but I don't have much experience with the Argonius, no.
Do you know where they are?
Not particularly, unfortunately. I don't believe any of them reside here anymore, but other than that...
Okay, thank you, Yazriel. Here is an offering, and he just like pulls out 4 gold and is like, "Here you go," and he puts it on the nearest anvil.
He looks down and is like, "Thank you," and he scoops it into his hand. Just sort of.
Yona, thinking he has to do the same, is gonna also pull out 4 gold. And give it to him.
This is good. Good. Well done, Yona.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Religion is
Thank you.
complicated here. They do things and stuff.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Twice on the chest. Kiss it for good luck.
Oh, I have not. I've been skipping the chest thing. Okay, sorry. I'll catch up for the past times.
It's very important. And
Okay.
he takes the gold and like this. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And walks off to go put it into a donation like basket they have at the front.
Oh, we could have done that entering.
No, sorry, the front,
Okay.
the main altar. I didn't pay attention in church school. I don't know what that place is called.
Church school.
Dais.
Ex Machina.
It's a dais.
Okay. Hey, we got some information about Dunrak, huh?
Yeah, that's interesting. We should see if Reese has a house then. I don't know why she wouldn't have mentioned that before. If there's a whole row for champions to live in, I feel like if she fought in a war, she probably deserves a house. That she maybe she doesn't even know she has a house.
There's just like a
That'd be-
Rhystrata house that's been sitting there for 300 years.
Yeah, that'd be wild.
We also know where her
Squatters.
old commander lives. We can go say hello.
True. Yes. Yeah, we should do that. Well, did you need to forge something?
Oh,
or-
we better not make the others wait. We'll tomorrow morning, okay? 4
Okay.
a.m. Me, you. We get up, we come down here. Don't wear a shirt, and we will make something.
Is the shirt mandatory? Like, is
not
that
wearing
is
a
not
shirt
wearing-
is mandatory. Look around you.
Everyone has shirts on.
Okay.
Oh my god!
God, Yona, read the room.
Figure it out, Yona.
I trust you.
You're a good man. Thank you, Yona. Okay, let's go find our friends.
Okay. I'm not gonna wear a shirt tomorrow.
We step outside and Riz says, "Okay, let's go find our friends."
About the same time you guys emerge from your different places across the square, you almost see each other just emerge like, "Oh, hey!"
Walk across.
Reese, did you know you have a house?
I do not.
We found your
What?
commander.
Yeah, have you heard of Champions Row? Apparently anyone who fought in the war just gets a
We have-
house.
No.
We've been there.
Oh God, so much. We have been to Champions Row.
Oh.
Is that what you? That is where this guard assembly is.
Doomrak
Oh.
lives there in
Yeah.
homes for veterans. Also,
well,
you are in a
isn't-
book.
I am certain.
Not a ghost.
So we do not need to go. We found some druids.
Oh,
Okay.
Also,
Did-
I do not have a house.
Oh. But you're a veteran, aren't you? Of the
Yes. We are offered houses.
so- Oh.
I did not take it.
You didn't want a house?
I did not want to live here.
Oh, okay. Well, fair. Did you get something else at least instead? Like,
Reese will hold up a medal, and it's like,
oh,
for exceeding honor and bravery or some shit like that, and she's like, this.
Oh.
Unless otherwise kept, it is incredibly tarnished.
Oh yeah, it's fucked up. The rest of them look fine. This one's just like fucked.
Cool. That's useful too. So trees. Where are the trees? Yeah.
Bunny?
Right. So apparently a lot of the Argonius Conclave moved out a while ago, which I think we knew before, but there might be one or two in a grove to the west. We were able to mark it on the map. So that's honestly the closest thing. So might as well be our next stop if we're planning on getting out of here.
I like it.
Cool. Okay, so do we want to rest up for the night and head there in the morning? Or is there anything else we need to do? Are we gonna live it up now that we're not in trouble anymore? We've shared all of our secrets, so there's nothing for us to hide, right?
Reese doesn't do that. I'm so sorry. Yes. Sleep would be good. Or,
I love call-outs like that.
Straight through the heart. Right.
So you guys are going to head to bed?
Yep.
Okay. Without a problem. You guys find a nice, easy night's sleep. Pretty good after not having anything drastically dangerous or life-altering happen too badly.
Mm-hmm.
What are the easier days for you guys so far? That's pretty good.
Yeah, pretty chill. Not
Just
too
went to
bad.
jail for a little bit.
Listen, we just visited. We took a tour.
Yep.
Yeah. A 3-hour tour. But the next morning, where would you guys like to head with your newfound day?
4:30 a.m. Right now.
Crack of dawn. Fucking ass crack of dawn.
Skipper?
We're going foraging.
Okay, come on. Oh, you don't have a shirt on. Hey.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really cold. If we could kind of move, I need to
It's good for you.
warm myself up.
Okay, here we go. And I lead him down to the forge, or the church.
There's no one else
I
there.
was going to realize halfway walking through town without a shirt on, he could have just taken the shirt off when he got there, but he left his room without a shirt.
You do get some strange looks from some passing guards, but other than that, it's 4 a.m.
It's forge stuff. Right?
I'm sure it is.
Hey, what do you think? It's pretty quiet here in the morning, huh? It's nice.
Yeah, it's different. But it definitely is peaceful.
Okay.
So, what do we? How do we start?
So, we have to get everything going, hit the metal on the fire, and then we have to keep it warm enough to strike on the anvil. We'll make something simple, and then like Brothos starts like guiding him through the process of just making like a very simple dagger in like his very religious way. You see him almost lose himself in like a trance-like state when he actually gets to start striking the metal. Then he's like, "Oh, okay, I forgot you were here. It does this. You come. Okay. Take the anvil. Okay. One hand.
Okay.
Okay. Tongs in second hand. Okay. Pin the knife down. And then slow strikes, let the hammer do the work for you. I don't know if this right Sean is going to kill me if I get it wrong, but I'm trying.
So many mistakes, but I'll let it go.
Kill.
Yeah, Yazriel looks like Doug Marcaida.
Just got a big chunk of ice for us to go whack at later. Check blade strength.
This needs to stop because I can go all day.
We walk in and there's ropes hanging everywhere. We just gotta cut through all of them.
Yona, could you make me a blacksmithing check? So no proficiency, just roll a d20.
Okay, cool.
Also, you can have your strength.
I have sleight of hand if that helps.
Not really.
I will trick this metal into taking shape.
Hey, you want to do what I'm telling you, right? 13. Just a straight.
13. That's not bad for your early work with Brothos' guidance. Actually, I'll say you could have advantage with Brothos helping you.
Oh.
Look at that.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. Look at that.
As he
Alright.
like gets into it, Brothos just starts away and starts to like really, really quietly hum, and just lets like himself hum to the beat of Yona working.
As this sort of soft hymn of Brothos enters your ears, you almost become lost in that same rhythm that he was showing you, and a part of you just knows how to strike almost inherently, as if either you just have a knack for it, or maybe it's the song Brothos is humming, or maybe he's just a really good teacher. But very quickly you see this blade start to form out of this raw piece of iron that was sitting there a few moments ago, and probably an hour and a half after you start, without even knowing how much time has passed, you see this profile of a beautiful, long, thin, double-bladed dagger.
Oh, that's how it should look, right?
Holy crap, Yona. That is beautiful.
That's... Wow. I honestly, I'm gonna be truthful, didn't think I would do well at this.
You are incredible.
That's really cool. Whoa. And that's very sharp.
Yes.
Wow.
So hot.
Yeah, that too. I think that was maybe what I meant. I don't know. I was kind of in the zone for that.
That's...
Whoa. That's cool. So this is what you do like almost every morning?
Yes, it's good for your shoulders and pectorals, and it builds up.
Yeah. And I see what you mean by without having a shirt, because I feel like if I had my cape on, it would have gotten snagged.
Limbers
So
you up. It is so... I could cry. Oh my god.
Burst into a rage.
He rages. Oof.
Whoa, okay.
Oh no!
Oh my god, the visual of you smithing in a cape almost killed me.
You can keep this, I
didn't
think.
happen.
If not, we can buy the metal just to make sure that it is paid for.
Yeah. I mean, do you want to keep this as a memory,
You
or
should keep it.
what
This is
do you
what you
do?
made.
Okay. Yeah, I'll...
I mean, you don't have to if you hate it, but...
Well, no, I don't. Well, that's an assumption there, but no. I love it. It's awesome. Thank you for showing me this.
Thank you for coming with.
All right, let's go find some druids.
Okay.
I think is what they said.
As we begin to walk out... No, yeah, he'll leave it. He just kind of taps him on the back.
Okay.
I'm taken aback by the light tap on the shoulder, and not
It is pretty
Nice little light tap.
the spine-splitting shoulder slap that I normally get.
Reese does get up a bit early, go to Mal's, and get, those, it's a canteen, but it's made of leather. A pouch.
Oh, like a wineskin?
Yeah, like a wineskin.
Yeah, he has tons
A
of those.
wineskin of alcohol, so that she can access her amulet at any time. Flask ain't enough, baby. I need a pint.
There you go.
So yeah, however much that is. She just grabs that.
Are you just getting one?
Can I get more than one?
I mean, it depends on how many wineskins you want to get. Do you? Because I think it only...
3.
I'm not sure how it works, but I'm pretty sure it would be like one wineskin to use, correct?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So 3?
Yeah.
Okay. Comes to about a gold, because they're smaller than the actual glasses you would probably get.
Nice. Cool.
I imagine
Throw
it's
those
just
away
like
and head back to Remy's.
margarita things that you have to mush up and you put in the freezer, and it's like the alcohol doesn't freeze.
I'm gonna make a solid, firm ruling here. It does not work with the bottomless mimosa.
Oh my god,
man.
could you imagine?
Good.
I just thought of that, and I was like, "This is not okay.
Very smart. Very
That
smart.
is a gag gift. Nothing else."
It's such a danger zone.
So close. We almost connected those pieces before you
You
did.
almost made it. I did think of it, and I was like,
Oh no, that would have been so good.
I mean, it's still only once a day. It wouldn't be too powerful. But...
Right.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
There's a
while
chance.
everybody is out doing their stuff,
Mhm.
I'm looking for two things. I'm looking for an herbalism kit and a set of navigator's tools. I don't know if the navigator's tools would be different from seafaring to airfaring.
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 At that point.
Okay.
Skyfaring. But yeah, he is looking for both of those things.
So navigation tools and herbalism kit.
Mhm.
All right, make an investigation check for me.
5.
5.
Yeah, dog.
Takes you a very long time. It gets to around lunchtime of you just like looking around. You even go into the scrap depot at one point because you're that desperate because you can't find it anywhere else. But after 20 minutes of arguing with him, he doesn't have what you're looking for, even if you look around yourself. But then, right next to the scrap depot, you see this very strange looking, like very straight lined building. It's like someone built a house by the book to the T. And it says across the entrance, Tenderfoot Apothecary.
Might as well. Push my way inside.
Okay. On the inside, there are the familiar, like trappings of an herbalism shop. You've got, these very ornate potted plants, these like bits of dried plant on the side, these shelves and racks of different herbs and spices. Catching you slightly off guard. 1, the building appears to be empty. And 2, there appears to be a suit of armor sitting on a chair behind a cash register. And as you look around for a second, the eyes of the suit just light up, and it stands to its full height, which is around 7 feet tall, and it bangs into the ceiling. Just the tip of its head bangs right into the ceiling, like that's its maximum height. And as you look up, you can see all these scrapes and divots and scratches where this has apparently happened before. And you hear this large, standing metal suit say, "Welcome. How may I help you?"
Sean, you beautiful bastard.
Thank you.
Hi. I'm Barney. Who are
Hello.
you? Who
I am
are
Morp. How can I help you?
You? Morp.
Yes.
Very nice to meet you.
A pleasure as well, Barney.
Is this your shop?
This is the Tenderfoot Apothecary. How may I be of assistance to you?
Okay. Well, Morp, honestly, I'm kind of looking for something that I can use to make some brews and shit on the road. So if you have any herbalism, anythings, kits, briefcases.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have just the thing. And it just sort of like slowly walks. You hear as it keeps banging its head on the ceiling. But it walks slightly around behind its counter, and it lifts up this duffel bag, almost looks like a doctor's bag, like a little surgeon's kit. And it puts it on the counter in front of you, and it says, "This is what you were looking for. Herbalism kit."
I'm gonna open it up and like spread the opening up and just like kind of take a look around.
It's got a lot of, very useful herbalism stuff. There's a pestle and mortar. Is that what it's called?
Oh, wow. Yeah, you got it.
Stuff like that. There's small like tubes and stuff that look like, you can take scrapings and pieces of other herbs and stuff. And a few bits and bobs to store in. Pretty well stocked herbalism kit.
Wow. How much is this?
This item is 30 gold pieces.
All right. Yeah, okay. I'm going to take out 30 gold pieces and place them on the counter.
Wonderful. I hope you enjoy your herbalism kit. Barney.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Okay. I walk out of the shop.
Okay. As you walk out, it scrapes the gold into like a drawer of the cash register, and then it sits down, and you see the eyes go.
So strange. All right, that's lunchtime now, right?
Yeah. Barney's been missing for around an hour, but eventually reappears.
Ah, there he is. All right. I was about to wonder if he was in danger.
I didn't get everything that I wanted.
What were you looking for?
Navigation tools. I just wanted to have them just in case. But I did get this. Might be able to make something useful from it. So. Yep.
That's cool.
Yep.
Good. Is it time to go to the grove?
Yeah, sure. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Let's do this.
Okay. Grove. Oh, that's me. So you all head out the main road. I'm going to assume at this point you can trick the people into giving you free tickets.
I hope.
Thank you.
Hell
Just to avoid all of that from now on.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. It's funny. I love it, but
No, we could pay every time if it fell flat.
No. You're good. I think it's clever the way you did it, so I'm fine with it.
Yay.
But you get to the main entrance. Are you guys taking your cart, or are you just walking?
How far of a walk would it be?
It's not longer. It's actually much close to the same that Sweetberry Farm was, like a 4-hour walk out of town. Question is, are you leaving from there to go somewhere else, or are you coming back?
Right.
That's a good point.
We should probably take the cart just in case, yes?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
We don't want to
You just take your cart.
our horses who were named Stromhouse and Odin.
Thank you, Josh. But the
John,
cart
be
is-
honest.
What?
Does Morp stand for Machine of Retail Provision?
It does not.
Damn it.
It does have a meaning, though.
Fuck.
That will be
Off we
revealed. Maybe never. So you follow the small trails with your cart out towards this large grove that you can see. Seeing it from this distance and knowing, it's more of a place of interest. It does look very beautiful and luscious, like very deep verdant green from this far away. Luscious. It's a luscious forest. Maybe it's Maybelline, but it is a tree. And as you head towards it, that is where we will end our session.
What? Unfair. Fine.
Yes.
We didn't get
That was so fun. I didn't get arrested.
You didn't get arrested.
He's gonna kill me.
Isn't that strange?
Oh, God.
you
It's
know-
fine. Let a rich asshole come after me.
Oh, man. Well, thank you all for being here. Josh, we have some final announcements, correct?
We do have some final announcements, and then we have some fan art.
Let's do fan art first.
You want to do fan art
Okay,
first? All right.
Yeah.
Fan art it is, boss. Here we
Circle the wagons.
go. All right, my friends. Hold
So much
on
accomplished.
to your pants, because first up, we have a masterpiece by Matt Denkles called Luther Wants Uppies.
Oh God, I hate
Wait,
that.
I haven't seen it. Oh my God. Why is my
hate
stream
that.
so behind?
My stream is very behind as well.
Mine just got there as well.
I'm sorry, guys.
I'm
now it's on the
fine.
screen.
sad inside my heart.
We're on the white
Really,
screen.
that I cannot see this.
It doesn't do it justice,
I'm
but
scared.
the left arm,
Oh
excuse me, the right
Lord.
arm just ends abruptly with the page, like it's not finished.
I see it now. Oh, I see it. Luther wants uppies.
Oh my god, I love this so
Good.
much.
Very good.
Ugh,
That's
hate
actually
this.
what they look like in my mind, which is weird.
I knew it.
I like that his right foot has just a line through it because I didn't know how the line tool worked when I was using this in paint.
It looks
Good,
like
good.
someone
Yes.
started one of Looks like the beginning of one of those middle school S's that someone just didn't know how to do it.
Yes,
Like,
they couldn't finish.
And drum roll now. Drum roll for this. Coming up next is Attack Cougar.
Oh my god. Is that what you named it?
Oh my gosh.
He was asking me at the beginning of the 5 minutes before
Listen.
session, what do you want this to be named? And I was like,
She
I don't
attacked
know.
and she a cougar. Look at those, listen. Look at that
God.
wrap. Look at those fucking
my
scars. This is so fucking hot.
Attack Cougar.
The list of
Attack Cougar.
the list of names that were rattled off in succession were all masterpieces. Everything's
Can they all
They're
be
heinous.
yeah.
Heinous.
They were.
Can they be listed? Please?
List them out. List them out.
Sloan, am I allowed to read these out? I feel like.
I mean,
do you want to tell us
Yes.
the names you?
Know the truth right now. You failed to save.
Let the people
was-
see the work.
it was sexy lady, muscle-tacular, and attack cougar?
Yeah, question mark.
Bless.
Oh
Fucking
my god.
bless.
This is perfect.
Oh,
Oh, it's so good, Sloan.
Hell yeah.
That one right there is from the story where she was like, "You tried to cut off my arm." You know, it happens.
And guys, if you want to submit your art, you can send it to askthewelcomein@gmail.com. We'd love to see it, my friends. And with that, we'll
Because
go
I can
ahead
only
to-
make so much art, so please. Otherwise, they're gonna disable me having paint on my computer.
I love
All
this
right,
campaign.
we're back.
me
back.
too.
All right.
Me too.
Hey guys, thanks for
Exit
sticking
him.
with us. We got announcements now. A few quick ones. First off, we want to say thank you to our amazing partners, Soundtail, who brings all that incredible ambiance every week to our shows. Arcane Anthems, who made all of our intro songs that are very, very good. We love him for it. Go check him out on Patreon. He makes free D&D music that you can put in your games as well. And last but not least, Rolaris Maps, who works with us to make some very cool maps for our campaigns and one-shots and things like that. We also just want to draw your attention to the fact that we are affiliates with Found Familiar Coffee. What that means is that you can click through and get some cool coffee that are D&D flavored. If you haven't tasted Initiative yet, you need to order yourself some because it's a very specific, distinct flavor, and you should check it out. And they make it over at Found Familiar Coffee. So take a look at the link and follow those rules to get that 10% coupon code. And lastly, Sean, what do you got to tell the audience?
I have the audience to tell that we would like to thank our mods, because without this work that you guys put into this stream, we wouldn't be able to run it 90% of the time. So we appreciate you being here. Like, you guys don't understand how much they work. They schedule their sleep schedules for the weekend around each other so that one of them can always be here. You guys
Bless.
work too hard for us, and we really appreciate it. So thank you.
One of them just finished off the B-mote that is now available to our Tier 1 subscribers. You get a little
Oh.
B-mote in chat. It's a masterpiece.
If you like
So
jazz, be
cute.
sure to spam that.
You
beat.
like jazz?
Right, you like
Oh.
just a
Wish you could
critically
rename
important
them.
emote to this show.
So we can call it Welcome in Jazz.
It's so cute.
It's so
It's
adorable.
The
adorable.
art was by Mythalador, who is in chat modding right now.
Of course.
Mhm.
Legendary
Thank
artist,
you.
emote maker. We love
God,
it.
so good. Look at those bees.
Look at all those bees.
Hello, bees.
Wait.
Hello. Now I want
Soundtail,
bees.
bring us some bee sounds to go with those bees, please.
You're like jazz.
Hey, you did it, Josh.
How did this become on?
Hooray.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, with that chorus of bees, we are going to sign off for tonight's game of Off the Rails. Join us tomorrow for Conundrum Company.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bee.